Alright guys, welcome in to the stream. We have a very special impromptu surprise King of Catan Premier League semifinal stream with the one and only Chapha. How's it going, bro?
Going well, man. Just thanks again for streaming. But today should be a great match. Poppy's a legend. We're going to have a great match today, streaming King of Catan Premier League semis.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is going to be a great game with great competitors. We're going to unmute and hear the kind of banter that's going to go on right now during placements. And we'll kind of talk through the players.
Cool.
Alright, so I am all muted up. And Chapha, you're great where you are with being both muted and deafened, so they can go through my Discord. But yeah, just talking about a little bit of the players. Maybe we can start with one and we can both share something. I'm sure your experience with these players are a lot different than the experience that I have with them, just with our presence in the different communities. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So Aja, how I know him as the two-time Division 1 champion for Catan Champs, also just a legendary trader, as in offers the most trades I think I've ever seen from any player in any kind of game. A great guy in itself. He's definitely one to have some fun with during the game, and those are always the best people to play with. What is your experience with Aja?
Aja's a fantastic player. I think I played my first game with him back in the Settlers League, maybe 2 years ago, around there. We played in the first round, and we played also in CPI, I think. So, he's a really good player. I think he likes to play a lot of production. That's my experience with him. And he's a very active trader. So that's a deadly combo for a player.
Yeah, definitely. CPI being the Catan... can you remind me the Catan...
CPI? I think it's Catan Players Invitational.
Yes, the Catan Players Invitational. A very up-and-coming Discord league. But yeah, thank you for that clarification, just for those who do not know that. I believe I came around after the Settlers League was a little bit more prominent. But definitely some great info there, for sure. Thank you so much. So Shanks, we have a great competitor with Shanks. He is the Brazilian national champion, as well as a multi-Division 1 finalist, as well as competitor in playoffs. He's part of the team. I believe he provides a lot of help and support in the stats department. So very excited to see what he does this game. Definitely a strong player, and one that I would say very much is an older school player.
There's a lot of weird spots.
You know, where like the newer people tend to trade and kind of switch win conditions a little bit, where the older crowd, at least in my experience, has played more to, like, let's say, like, as a road player. Shanks is a road player. You'll see him buy very few devs, where the newer generation, the more recent players that have come around, I almost feel like development cards are up for grabs all game. So at least that's my experience with Shanks. A very strong player in his own right. How do you feel about Shanks personally?
Yeah, no, Shanks is a fantastic player, and like you said, Poppy, he is the current and reigning Brazilian national champion. So he won that, I believe, back in July or August, and he has booked a ticket to Worlds 2025 for the World Championships of Catan. Yeah, I think he's also a very strong player, sees the board very well, understands all the players' positions, and like you said, I think he doesn't really like to play that development card game, more production, and also he loves to build a den.
Kind of difficult to predict what will be open.
Yeah, definitely. Next up we got kellyc. I should say the kellyc, another very awesome, very kind streamer, one who's very active in the community, has accolades in almost every single server, every single league. A great guy in his own right, and I love that he's in this game, because between Aja, Shanks, Kelly, and
I guess like a lot of players will be dissecting with me right now.
talk about. Let me make sure that everyone's
Like
volume
659
is
would be
actually at a
good.
good level.
834 would be good.
Because I feel like actually Aja's a little bit loud. But I guess my point that I was trying to make was this should be a great table in terms of table talk, because kellyc is definitely one to lean into that kind of aspect of the game, and it's my favorite part of the game personally. So I'm just very excited to see where this game goes with the dynamic that this table has almost formed, in where we are now.
Yeah, I love it. I think I think he's really made some strides in the last, I would say half a year, 7 months, 8 months, making CPI the Catan Players Invitational final last iteration, and now he's brought himself to the Premier League semifinals. And I think last season he just got promoted to the Premier League. So very, very great results from Kelly. And his table talk is, I think, one of his strengths.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for that support in terms of their specific accolades. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with all these competitors, especially server wide. So your just presence, in this stream is very, very helpful, and we're very blessed to have you. So thank you again for joining. But yeah,
Appreciate you.
kellyc, the table talk man, table talk man. So next up we have Buckle. Buckle's a competitor that I've played mainly in CPI, and I believe in a time where I may have subbed for a KOC game. He's not a player that I've played consistently, but he's one of my favorite players just with how he plays. I think he's a very kind and funny guy, and primarily focuses on having fun. Still staying competitive, but primarily like putting that in the forefront, of how he wants to walk away from this game. At least that's been the experience that I have. So I love that Buckle's in this game. Love seeing all these players make it so far in this tournament.
Yeah, I love Buckle as well. I've been playing with him since like the early days of King of Catan back in 2020. The pandemic just boomed, and he is, I would say, like, very smooth. I love the guy. He's the homie. I think he has a very persuasive way of delivering his table talk, and that's one of the best parts of Catan, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So somebody's.
But yeah, Poppy, what do you think about the board so far? We've had a couple of placements.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about that.
It's not
I just added your name to my stream because everyone was asking, who is this beautiful man? Yeah, so let's get into it. Thank you so much. I know that's a little bit delayed in terms of talking about placements. I just love talking about the players because I feel like that's who we're here for, But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the board. We saw that Orange placed first. Buckle went 5-8-10. What I see on the board immediately is the 5-6-9. But I see the, I guess, argument to go against it because you don't have a port in that situation. You would have to point down, go to the 9-12, since the board would most likely set up a plow situation from the 9-10 to the 5-8-10. But Orange going 5-8-10 on the right, I think, is a very flexible play for first because it allows two different ports, one secured from the wood port, as well as a competition for the brick port, which are very flexible in their own right, and you almost guarantee yourself sheep. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was thinking kind of the exact same guideline where the 5-6-9, it's the monster production 13 pip spot, jumps out right away. Although the 5-8-10 just has that flexibility on the wood port, brick port. You get the best wood brick combination on the board. And there's a lot of wood. There's an abundance of wood on this board. So that port might be key come later in the game with some creative deals.
Definitely. And so we said Orange went first.
I was at the 12.
So that would have meant Black went second. So Aja went 5-9-10 up, which is interesting because looking at the board again, Or is very scarce. We have a 12, a 2, and a 4. And if I'm a player in this board, I'm only playing Or Wheat Sheep if I can get onto the 4 Or. I think that gives you such an advantage on the Or Wheat Sheep game because your next competitor will probably be somebody who can port efficiently. So you want that upper hand in terms of Or. So Aja going 5-9-10 is interesting, as well as the how the board manifested with Kelly going 5-8-4 to the left. being a little bit chaotic. Whoever rolls the 9 first, basically. Apart from that, though, I actually do like Buckle's spot a little bit more, seeing that the ore is so bad that him going 5, 6, 9 in first isn't great if he's not able to get onto brick, right? Which him getting onto the 5-8, him getting onto the 8 brick makes complete sense. So I love that pick from Buckle. Going next to Aja. Aja, I'm sure, assumes that they're going to get wheat, maybe even in the 6-3-11, which that's what they're set up to get here, where they can expand onto the best ore. But it makes the situation a little bit weird, and I think Aja may have had to double think here, just with how Kelly placed his road, because it kind of changes his situation a little bit, because if he goes 6-3-11, he's now dependent on an, or he would now, his next port that he'd be able to have access to is the ore port, assuming he goes 6-3-11 right. But I honestly don't think it's a terrible situation, and he should double think
I'm not
about this situation,
that either.
you know, more than needs to, because worst case he can always build to the wheat port. If I'm Aja, I go 6-3-11 here, but I love 5-9-10 at second. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, are you saying 6-3-11 with the triple wheat, or is it with the?
Sorry, yeah, 6-3-11 with the triple wheat.
Down to the ore port.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. As Aja here, coming down to 45 seconds left for their settlement pick. I think with the 6-3-11 triple wheat, the board really opens up, and I think Buckle may take advantage of that. So I'm thinking whether Aja is going to play more offensive, like he just did, going for the 4-11, or is he going to place more defensive, locking Buckle out of like a monster production
I just
spot.
thought you were gonna be way too flexible with 8-10 with all the production. How we can trade.
Definitely. And that, you made a great point about having the board being open.
Is that the best thing?
Which is
No.
I
was
love
giving
I
it
love
context
Buckle's spot. I
into
think he picked the best spot on the board.
I mean, now you are gonna.
Yeah.
you are-
Just with
now you
his
are gonna
flexibility of having brick,
Oh yeah, I'm just saying
basically.
why is my well.
So yeah, I
I
actually
thought that I'd be
like how this board turned out a little bit. First, second, and third.
You have the same setup as me, but like 5 productions.
Shanks went 8-3-4. That makes sense. 6-9-4.
The 12s are gonna outroll the 4s.
Kelly went. Yeah, Kelly's placements are always interesting
I paid off
all the time. Like, he doesn't place as straightforward sometimes as I think, at least. Like, and when I say I think, not that I'm right, but just like my perspective of how I play the game, because everyone plays this game so differently depending on just the kind of person they are. But how do you feel about Kelly's position? Because he is banking on that 9 to roll on his turn.
Yeah, no, he definitely places a bit differently than other players, or how, like you said, our perspective on how one would place. I think now that he starts with the brick, right? I think he's starting with the brick. Oh, he started with the wood, actually.
Yeah.
So he's waiting for an 8 brick to roll.
Oh, because he went 4th. You're right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So he's waiting for that brick, that 8 brick to roll, and then hopefully plow Aja or the Sun to the 8-10. I'm not sure about his road on the 9-6-12 to the 11-12. I'm not too sure about that, but I guess he's gaining another number from the 11-12. I think it might be a little bit better to double the wheat port for his game on 9 wood instead of going for the 11-12. But I think, he's looking like in a very good spot with all the production, good dice diversity. So he's got a lot of numbers.
Yeah, I see why he wants to go the 11-12. For one, knowing Kelly, he's gonna go, happily berserk when the 12 rolls. And he also just wants to get onto some kind of 11, right? 11 brick is his trademark, so he'll go onto the wheat. But another wheat spot is not a bad thing in this game. And when the 12 does roll, that is going to be such an important roll when it happens because of the scarcity of the ore. However, I do love your opinion a lot better just because you double up the 9, double up the wood, where you're on double 8s. Let's say you get to the 3, which there you go. He has it if Aja doesn't roll. Oh yeah, he needs to trade basically to get the plow on Kelly now. But Kelly could play a road game, basically. He cut Aja, the Sun, we're talking about player black,
I thought you started with the nice
on the
before.
A10, and then just builds
No,
all
I
the way
checked
to the left.
rare resource.
So very interesting. We'll see how this
I
board
never-
plays out a little bit.
Yes, rope in hand. So.
Bucko ended up going 6-5-11,
just roll, yeah.
which
No,
allows him to
Yeah, you
play
took the-
a
yeah,
road, very flexible
I
road
take-
game.
Yeah,
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 so
yeah,
that-
yeah. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. I did.
And I think that's his
I forgot
best
to break
spot.
this one.
Regardless, it's the best amount of pips that are left
You
with
won't
11
break.
pips,
That's not me.
and it's less roads to
Yeah,
connect his network if he
Yeah,
needs to.
anybody want-
So
anybody get more?
Yeah.
very interesting board.
Oh.
I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Give him, bro.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
No, you're good. I just
moment.
where we talked a little bit about Aja a bit. We talked about Buckle and then Kelly and their placements. I'm a little bit interested in what Shanks does in this game. He's got the dice diversity like we just talked about with the 649, 384, but he doesn't really have that great of a port situation. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, how does he play this game? What's his win condition? How does he maneuver it?
Definitely.
Cody, you don't mess with me.
Oh, okay.
You don't
So
mess. Now you're
here we
stuck
go.
with four
So
moves.
Buckle just
Can I
rolled
get
an
rope,
8,
guys?
did not get a trade.
I don't know why
Aja
they
rolls
wanna
a
give it to him. I
7,
could be a
perfect
four.
roll for
I'm
him in
still
this
be stuck.
situation, to then pluck from Kelly,
I don't think
which
we
it
do
looks
this
like he
and
got
don't
a.
roll. It's like the best.
A wheat.
I don't think it's gonna
A
work
wheat.
that quickly.
I think he got a wheat, didn't he?
Oh, I need break.
Yeah, he got a wheat. He plucked the wheat because he was initially proposing 4 cards for a road.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I
So
don't know if you should
not
have
only
taken
did he
the
miss
without
the
knowing.
brick that Kelly
Yeah,
just
but,
rolled, he also
yeah,
missed the
yeah,
wood,
without
which
knowing
is
you get-
and the
without you
ore,
doing it, without you-
which are all like amazing cards, and he got like literally the worst cards
Okay,
since
you
he has
guys
all
need a break
wheat.
then?
That's pretty.
He's gonna be able to
That's
play
pretty
this
like
game.
funny, but like.
yeah, like what's the
that
point
sucks
in
for
trading?
him.
What's the point in
But,
trading 2 wheat?
But okay,
if you-
interesting
if you're not gonna get the
situation.
road
Yeah.
out of it?
Yeah. Hey, that's why we play this game. And I know Poppy and I, we love this game so much.
No one's
It's
giving you a
just
break, but I
crazy
mean,
how
but
sometimes
you
luck
shouldn't
can
trade him 2
really
wheat.
backfire on you.
If
Yeah,
you use
definitely.
that card,
So
it's
I'm gonna
working
turn
with
their
the brick as well.
player volume up just a tiny bit to see if we can hear some of their banter.
Cool.
I mean, I would if it was a mistake, but I think you just got convinced by the other guy, so I don't see a reason to do that.
Said he wanted it back.
I was just asking for the break. I hope you guys do it, but I guess not. Then I think Kelly might win after that, so I don't mind
I don't-
him having to beat.
The thing is, Aja,
mean,
with
because-
the spot, you're gonna have ore wheat sheep with the 411. Like there's barely any ore on this board too. So for me to get the 3-1 port relative to giving you ore wheat sheep play plus strong production.
At this moment, doesn't give me, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what did we get here?
I guess nobody has any wood.
So Shanks
Oh.
just received 2 wheat for his 1 wood
Here.
to Aja,
Yes, he just
and
wants
Aja
to
could
wood
not
for
get a
it.
trade for brick. So it looks
I
like
thought
Kelly
about
secured
that.
that spot.
GG.
I have
Built
wood,
a
but you
road.
would need to trade
Shanks
me the
built a
brick that
road
I
after
needed.
rolling a
No, I'm
10.
not
We had a
gonna
3
trade
roll,
them.
and then we
Yeah,
had
but
another
I
10
can't
for
trade you
Buckle.
brick if I'm trying to get the brick for it. Like,
Kelly's soloed from
we could help each
the
other.
Aja situation.
yeah, but if I trade you
And
my
we'll see
brick
how
now,
long,
now
I guess,
I'm-
a
I have
7
wood
rolls.
and no brick, right?
Yeah, but
Because
I have two bricks to
sometimes
trade as well.
when
I
you're
have two
soloed
bricks
so
to
early in the
trade.
situation and a
Just
7
ask
doesn't
me,
roll,
give me
you
future
get
rope or something.
Yeah, you should just
kind of
start to go to
screwed,
them, then
but
here's-
unintentionally. You know, after like just a situation where you had to
Do
get
you,
soloed.
do you have
by
a
a
wood and a
person.
brick?
So I hope that does
Yeah.
not happen for Kelly here.
Okay,
'Cause
I
he's
mean,
kind of
let's
relying on
do a
that
deal then.
brick.
I'll
Trading.
give you a
Mhm.
future. and I'll
That
give you a
early
future
brick
one.
production is going to
Trading
skyrocket
brick and wood
Kelly's
does
game
not go-
if he's able to settle on the 8-10. So that's a really
if you get
critical
the
spot
brick
for him at the moment.
No,
Then- then,
it's
like-
okay. It's okay. You have the wood part. My main issue is the wood part, of course, but the brick part. If you have
And
both,
can
but-
you
both
hear
parts, I
the
think you're too strong here because you have road. You have
the players, by the
connection.
way?
But I
You
don't
have
have.
Okay,
ability.
perfect.
I don't have
Perfect.
ore though. So like, if you get the brick, you get
I
a free
know,
card on
but
the 8 every time.
you'll be very flexible with both parts. I think table
You're-
should feed you
but
only wood
you're-
part.
You're even more flexible if you have the brick port, because then you get a
Guys,
free
can
card.
we
the
talk
8.
the
to
brick
each
part is
other?
my
Just
only good-
Stop arguing. Let us talk. I mean, you did not help me. So what am I getting out of it? I get just a road back and sheep and wheat, which I did not need. I would need like future or and road.
I don't have
So
ore, man.
something-
I
yeah,
don't make.
but like after you port your breaks, then I think I would need one ore.
I don't make ore.
So no, then
Alright.
you might do it next time.
Hi guys.
I might do this.
I mean, I'll do it for another week.
So it looks like we got
I don't
some
know what happens
early
in games where people don't
predictions
trade with
from
you.
the stream chat.
I lose.
One being Shanks. That was Karm's pick. Who do you see taking this game?
That was in my game notes.
Hmm.
I might have cheaper brick for you later on though.
I kind of like Kelly's position. I think they're very
This is the solo
flexible with the eventual settlement on the 3-1. I think that's going to be a really good position for Kelly. I would probably pick them based on settlement selections. I never doubt any of these players. They're all very adaptable, so I think Kelly would be my pick right now.
Okay. We'll get to a lot of
Yeah.
these.
I love Kelly's potential if
Luckily you do
he
this and
follows
I can help
suit
you with
to
road next
kind
time.
of
I
your
think so,
plan
but
of
Shanks
going to
can
that
help.
9, going on that weed port, because
So
he'll
over
go
under
11
trades
to
off.
12
So are you just building a road?
most likely, and then if his fit
Uh,
settles
Are you Devin?
the weed port, I think his game is very strong.
Or-
He cities a lot
Mhm.
easier and then has a whole road game. So I agree with you.
Okay, I found this on the web for he said he's like Bazir then he has a whole row game. Check it out.
I'm so
Shanks
The
so
next
sorry,
boot or
guys.
next brick.
That was my
We have a third commentator, Siri.
Yeah, that was my series. She just kind of takes
If I
control
don't-
sometimes.
If I don't get
Um,
it, then you owe me a number.
I like Shank's position a lot too, as well as Buckle.
Can you rate that in the text chat so I can follow?
Personally, I think Buckle is going to win this game, and the reason why, just
Can you rate that in the
just
text
my
chat?
I'm
my
nice.
opinion, right at this moment, is because I think he's gonna stay out of the toxic
Someone's gonna be yelling at someone
talk.
10 turns later.
Honestly,
He does this
I've watched a couple of his games, and
Kelly,
he's
you
very
need to
good
break
at
you
this
for
game.
I don't
He's a
have
very
any
nice guy. He jokes around. He'll table talk, but I've never really seen him
I
get
just
into
walked on the
these kind of
8 and I used
bouts
the one
that I
brick to build the
know
road.
Bucko had
Kelly,
to follow you because
Aja
considering
and
getting
Shanks
my part
definitely
here. So
will
if you
and
do
can
this,
get into
I
it, and
assure
will
I
probably
won't go
most
for
likely
you.
happen here as well.
I'm just settling the
Um,
green part.
I think Buckle's definitely
won't
And I give you a
severely
number.
underrated if
Yeah.
he kind of makes his way either to the 3-for-1
don't
port
build
after
the
the
same.
wood port, or if he
Because I'm
gets
easy.
like 4, triple hex settles. So
Yeah.
that's how I see it right now. Shanks is doing a good job of taking away his break port, and I don't think that's detrimental to Buckle just because
I mean,
if he wants
I'm
to
just
play a
saying
road
that
game
I-
later, he
I would-
doesn't
I would-
waste
I'll
that
never
road
raise
down
the wood part if
from,
it didn't feel good. If you
moving
do
to the
that
wood
trade.
port.
That was what I was
But
saying.
we'll see what happens. Shanks
Let's
solo
just get the,
Buckle.
road builder.
I'm not sure why. I think I missed that one.
Who do I want to block?
Yeah, I think Buckle is definitely in a good position, like you said, and
I think it's
he's a very smooth, chill player, so they fly under the radar. I really do think that if Shanks is able to prevent Buckle from stealing his brick port, that's a really big plus. But I think another hidden objective Shanks has is to plow all the way to the wood port, and that would be massive if he could do it.
That would be game
Okay.
ending for
Yeah.
the board. I feel because I don't think you can stop that. We had a very cool comment from the king himself, Sunset
So I need a
24K,
wood brick.
and he basically said that his setup is the most likely to roll. Like the scales the way harder than any other setup compared to the other players.
So
So if he's able to do that,
if I get
it's very hard to stop
2
him,
wheat-
even if he's receiving all these blocks.
so you have a
Because,
you have a wood
you know,
or
Chop-
Kelly?
yeah. I was gonna say
No
chop.
wood and 2 sheep.
Buckle
So if I
never
get
blocks his own
a-
8. He's very flexible across the board with his wood port.
What do you have?
We'll see what happens, but yeah.
Aja?
So maybe that solo was almost to prevent
You have the best.
Buckle from putting a road
You
down.
have the best production in this
for
table,
Shanks
and
to
you
see
have
if he can
both
sneak his way
parts, it's super great.
up the board.
What,
You have
what,
the
did,
best
Yeah.
production and the best road connection. So
what did Shanks steal from you, Buckle?
Shit, I forgot. You got a weed. Let's try to figure out how to get to do this real quick.
Yeah, and
He's
So
I agree.
if-
I
if-
think that city on the
do you
348
have
that
a
Shanks
week?
will
Do you have a
probably
week?
get
Week?
throughout this game is going to be massive. With that break
yeah,
port,
yeah.
getting that double wheat,
Oh,
that's rare for him,
God damn.
and doubling the 4
Do
ore.
you have a week, Kelly?
No.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think we can make it.
Yeah, we can't make it. Let's try and work out a free trade. Can't make it.
It's very interesting that the last two
I think
blocks
Shanks has a few weed in his hand.
and
right? Two
Rob's,
weed.
or I guess
Yeah, but he's not gonna trade.
not
I'm
necessarily
saying,
still
I'm
looking
saying-
for the
now,
egg,
yes,
unless
because
they rolls
the
go
4 is
against
blocked,
the
but
I was thinking
the
how
Robs
close he
aren't
is
even
to
on
something like
Aja.
that. Probably that's good, but-
being like the person who has
He's looking
settled
for
first
sheep
and the only
maybe
person
from
that is
from
above
mid-4 I don't think
the
4
table at 3 points. I think
Oh, no,
everyone
he got
understands that
sheep
his
from the
position
start,
isn't
unless you-
very
I just think he's
strong,
blocked also.
but I
think he's got-
don't think that the board should completely disregard
he's got, like,
Aja as a player because he's very skilled in his own right, especially at diversion. So who knows? You know, if
I appreciate that you're always willing to
Aja
ask.
honestly.
No.
Buckle is not in a great spot right now because Buckle needs a road down to the woodport, and he
Need
also needs a road
Ojo.
across to the 3-10-11 because Aja can
Yeah.
can just as easily plow up to the 3-10-11.
What the heck
Um,
would we-
Because I'm trying to figure out where Aja goes next.
and
I
then
could see
3
him
rolls.
building onto the 4 because the
Yeah.
4 is an important spot for the ore, but
Like
Mhm.
Orport is really useful, you know.
Buckle's priorities are
Yeah,
kind of
that's-
like all over the
that's what I
place,
say, Joe,
and I
is
can
to
see
road down,
both
Buckle,
players
put down
taking
to the
advantage of that
woodport.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Buckle's definitely got to protect that wood port expansion. But yeah, it's interesting because you see Shanks placing that defensive road to protect his port, but then Buckle also has to worry about Aja potentially doubling back
I'm not a block. I'm
to 3-10-11.
Definitely, yeah.
Mm,
So great
Yeah,
turn for Buckle.
I could trade you the sheep. if you
Had some
need.
stress there for my man,
I'd like the
but he was
all.
able to road settle.
It's a lot of
Next,
drugs.
I think
Yep.
he,
I can give
well,
you two
he
cards,
should be
but-
okay actually. I don't think
Nah.
Aja has the
Two
resources
cards,
to
If you wanna
put
go
2
fishing,
roads
go for
before
it, but-
Buckle
I mean, I think
rolls
I'm
at least
still
1.
fine. Maybe
So
I'll
we'll
hit
see.
the
Yeah.
deep
We'll see
against
what
him. I don't know.
happens, but not looking too bad
Give
here.
me Orc for 2 cards.
Shanks definitely
No, I'm not
probably
gonna volunteer
presented
to go
that
give
road
the
as
last
a
pull. I'm just
just
saying
protected my
I won't
spot,
hit the-
but it also
the
opened
four
up that
next time I'll hit
possibility
the
for him
eight.
to put that road down if Buckle didn't have it for whatever reason. But
Mhm.
Aja took a while to block. The bot blocked the
Mm,
8,
I don't
which
know that.
means it'll steal
the dodges.
from Buckle.
Yeah, I think it's a bust.
No,
Being at
once he gets
3
that
points,
report,
it always
he's gonna be
defaults
Once
to
you
that.
get the brick part, you
higher
have-
victory
you have
points
a
if
good
I'm
part, you
correct,
have the best
and
production,
then
the table
the
is
highest
top.
amount
you
of
you have
resource
you have
points.
you have ore. I don't.
Despite
I don't
like a
have
person
shit.
having
Where's the
a
ore?
million
I don't
devs.
see an ore in my hand.
But
Doesn't
No,
even
yeah,
roll.
you're-
And
That's correct.
You're
and it
on
will be
ore.
blocked all the game. It's insane.
Not
The 8 and the 4 will
necessarily.
be blocked all the game. You have a wood part, you have the best production, you have road connection, and your table talking
And-
against me.
And no,
I love
and no
the
free
And I'm
songs.
2 points. And I'm 2 points.
Okay.
Of course you're the
Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
Yep. This is a Katana at its finest.
Not a huge
Thankfully,
difference.
they're playing online and they
Oh,
can't
yeah,
flip the
getting
table in their anger.
yeah, I do like Buck. I mean, I think Buckle is the Rob there,
You're
but I
mean.
do like the attempt to like kind of like
I need ore.
talk about it a little bit. In these kind of games, like you know, a semifinal where it's
I have
It-
0.
it's winner, you know, win and in.
That's
basically, you kind of have to pull out all the tricks.
I need sheep also.
So I love seeing
I'll
that
trade
from
the sheep,
Buckle,
though.
but Shanks wasn't having any part of it, and
You're
Buckle
already,
was the Rob.
you're already
So
blocked. So why would you trade them?
we'll see how this game goes. Shanks rolls a
You got it,
7,
I got
hits
it.
Buckle
Don't
again,
need it.
which I agree with that Rob because I see his position over Aja right now.
Yeah. And Kelly hasn't settled yet.
Buck
Aja
hurts.
is not really
Well, actually,
doing
the
too
Buck-
much with
yeah, the
all
Buck
that
is
wheat
fine, but it hurts.
in their hands without an ore. So I think it's going to be a really interesting battle in how these
I
players
think
kind of
for-
balance each other out.
I could do that
Yeah,
better.
definitely.
Who said does that? Kelly does that?
Yeah, Kelly, I got you.
He's not blocking you.
So just a little
I
recap.
can
This
trade
is
for no's
Premier
too.
League semifinals.
Oh,
And
that's
these
it.
players
Yeah,
will be
I can
fighting for a
see
spot.
it.
The winner will be fighting for a spot
Yeah, of
for
course.
the Premier League final
Yeah,
next
break up-
weekend.
break up a
And
settlement.
the winner will join Donnie, rowing the boat, and Falcao. So 3 very strong players, and they'll be awaiting the final
Are you not, you're
opponent.
not plowing me at 11-12.
What an
are you?
amazing table.
No, definitely not.
Wow.
Wait for the beat for first.
Wow.
Did you?
Those are three,
Very, very strong table.
Yeah, those are three great players. Falco,
Did you,
you know, is a
trade him
legend
back the settlement?
in his own right. Rowan is a two-time nationals
traded,
competitor.
He
I
traded-
think his
Oh,
record is
okay.
4 out of 7 games,
Uh-huh.
like dubs.
Oh, good. A lot on the
That's
line
awesome.
here.
And
High
I
stakes.
and Donnie's a legend. I've seen him. The first tournament I ever
Prime
went to,
time.
the first qualifier,
Should I go for
he
the
won that
beat board
tournament
or the
in
four?
New Jersey, if I remember.
Probably the 4.
And I
That's
played,
awesome.
And I played with Donnie a lot in
I
person.
don't know. Where Shanks
Such an
is.
exciting table.
Yeah.
I'm very
Might well
very
go
much
for
looking forward to that.
He's got nothing but space to play with.
Yeah, very, very good table.
Yeah,
They'll be fighting for the Premier League trophy that King of Catan ships out to the winner. So it'll be very fun to watch that unfold. But a little bit about the players in the Premier League final. Rowan the Boat, he is a 2-time national participant. I think he made the 2022 U.S. national semifinals a year ago. So very, very strong player. Donnie actually participated in the 2022 U.S. National Championship as well, multiple time online finalist and winner. And then Falcao is probably one of the best players in Eastern Europe at the moment. So very good table.
Dude, the Bako, the guy who's getting ropes.
Completely agree with that last
Because
statement,
Shanks is too
especially.
dangerous.
Love Falco. He's also just a great guy. Very nice.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Shanks is the best anymore.
Okay, so a little bit how this board has
Apparently,
progressed. Not much.
Wow.
We have seen a road from Aja to the 4. Makes a lot of sense. I think Aja's next best spot would be the wheat port, so that takes a little bit more resources. But getting to that 4,
If you throw a wood, I can
preventing Shanks from going
I
there,
don't have it.
because that's an important spot for Shanks that he'd probably be looking to build towards pretty soon.
Yep.
I love that move for Aja a lot.
Yeah, this is a great move. I think, I was just thinking, look, Shanks, his first priority is settling that brick board. And if I can get the advantage on the 4 ore rolling, then I have that
Yeah, so
superiority over Shanks on the 4 ore. So that's why he's probably pursuing it now.
And I actually think if
To
he
live on the
does
edge.
that,
just to see you someone
he's
out,
kind of
but-
not in a bad spot.
I mean,
at
that's what
all.
I'm saying. It gives you a
Because
little more
Kelly
leverage
has
in the
not
fact that even though
I'll
you're
do
gonna
it on
done
the York
much
and
in
not
terms
around,
of
it's fine.
building
Equals
to
to
that
an
11-12. And if
Whoa.
Aja's able to
Aja.
road settle before Kelly is able
Aja.
to,
Don't
which
be
maybe not,
manifesting that.
because Kelly will probabably do that this turn. I think Aja could have.
It doesn't work
that
out
might
well
change
for people
things.
that talk
I think
against
Aja
or-
could have a chance to beating Kelly to
It
that
wasn't against you,
9
it
wood
was
spot
like
on the wheat
stating
board,
facts,
which is
you see?
huge for both of them. You know, that
I don't know anyone.
I would say give
Buffalo's Kelly.
road to Kelly, but definitely helps out his case a lot because Aja's never building onto the 10 break randomly. I think without compensation. But
You
that would
can
also
go
make
to
Aja a
the-
complete monster in this game with the wheat board.
Who did
Yeah.
I do the
So-
deal that he's gonna block the?
Hey, that's
That would be-
track.
I'd be very worried about Aja if they got the wheat port 311. Most wheat on the board. They can port their wheat 2-1
Yeah,
for
I
anything
figured
they would
if
like.
if it's
So-
still in my hand, you guys know it still exists.
Nice
Oh,
12
it
for
exists.
Kelly.
Give me all.
The 12 makes an
Oh,
appearance
no,
today.
That's it.
Well done.
It manifested again.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We just saw the
Live and die
first
by the
development
12s.
card being bought by Kelly.
Better put this on the road down.
So
Correct.
pretty interesting. Kelly did roll another ore.
You wanna try me your
Because
road?
I was about to say that's a pretty
It doesn't
expensive, or not an expensive, but
Yeah, well, you have four. I'll keep
I would
you
say
cash for that
an
four.
expensive decision because you're
Will
delaying
you trade
your
me
city.
your next
because
10
that's
wheat?
that could be a route you do
That's
too
for
at this
10
moment where you
That's
don't
for-
even
that's
focus
for-
on the 11,
That's for
12.
3 cards.
You just focusing, you just focus on porting your cards and then building a
That becomes
city
one
onto
time
your
to get
highest producing spot to
TBH.
then expand at a quicker rate.
Hmm.
But
I would need like
so
a
like we'll see how this
Guys,
game
please
develops.
trade with
Kelly
me. I'm
might lean into
losing.
the Orwe
I'm
cheap game
wrecked.
and use his high production spots as his ore.
check.
But we'll
Yep.
see what happens.
If someone feeds me 3 roads at a
Yeah.
settle to 9, 10, 11, I'll
Buying development cards is probably the most thrilling
So bad.
and adrenaline-based
Kelly.
component of Catan. You're either
It's
pulling
the issue with
knights,
the low ore board.
maybe Kelly's hoping to pull Monopoly, victory points.
I love low ore board.
I know that feeling of pulling the greatest dev cards and then sometimes pulling the worst that
Guys,
card.
Oh yeah,
nobody's
definitely.
helping me with anything. I'm literally
What
just
I've-
trying to reduce
like,
my hand.
as
I'm
I've
not doing
developed as a
anything.
player,
Time of the game.
just
The
my
game's going
my
too
journey
slow. People are falling
has
asleep.
definitely been like development card heavy. Like I love buying development cards. Like
Kelly's
there,
eyes
there are
low.
some jokes
He's
about
probably
it.
Probably
free
free
I
for
definitely
one,
think
then.
it's.
Cheap.
I honestly think Road is a harder game because buying development cards,
I don't
there's
think you know block
a strategy
games,
to
though.
like
Try it
the
again,
play,
try it
but you
again,
also
try it
are like
Okay.
gambling
share the
almost a
template.
little bit on like on the correct
Block
devs at a
is
given
interesting.
moment. You know, and that kind of
It's like
gets
I need to
Timeout.
unblock my
soured a
phone.
little bit if you
I
have,
already owe him
especially
one,
if you have like
Let's
more
make
than
him
one
time out.
competitor
Give it
with development
Kelly
cards.
2 non-blocks.
But yeah, there's definitely like a balance when it comes to the two, and I'm one of those players that are still finding
Oh,
a
shit. Oh,
finding a
oh
balance.
no. Aja.
Oh.
Shank is angry.
Shanks was
Aja.
able to road settle, which is so
Aja.
huge.
That is huge for Shanks' game and denying Ajo that spot, which is probably going to set his game back at least 2 orbits. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. I love all these trade offers by Aja though. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. The stats are gonna be what it is because Aja is just Aja.
Yo,
Very, very,
Shanks,
very
sir.
important spot for Shanks, and Aja's back to being. When he gets blocked, he's not getting robbed. You know, like at least anymore. Like his position was growing,
Check me, Saito.
and honestly, it was very strong
What do
if he
you-
got to that 4
Does
ore,
Kelly still have an ore up
bouncing back from getting plowed on the
I
8-10.
got all the ore.
But now he's
I got
back
10
to
ore.
I would say last.
That's right. I'm on the
Last
6th lead. I'm not
place
losing
right
right
now.
If you don't want to do
Or
it.
Yeah.
at least who
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would
I
consider
kinda do
in
wanna
my
do that.
hierarchy of who I would rob from.
Balls
You know.
in your court.
No, I would agree with that. Ajo's definitely set back, but he does have 9 cards at the moment, so let's see what he does the following turn.
That's valid.
I got you.
Aja, we could both say no.
Okay, fine.
I feel like that never works. When like you try to get the other person to say no with you.
Yeah, I can say no, that's fine. Like,
Do you want insurance, Aja?
yeah, sure.
What can you offer? I don't know if I want to give you insurance.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything you can give me that really helps.
Yeah,
it
I
out.
mean,
You give him
At
2
least-
future alert.
Ooh, and he settles on the 3, 10, 11.
Like,
Mhm.
trades, which are actually
All right,
my favorite.
Buckles heting up.
But
I
think
like
could
his
take some
spot.
trades.
Now he
So
has a
far, I'm
choice. He
using
really
12.
does. Like, I don't think he.
Do you have brick?
I mean, honestly, I was gonna say I don't
Even
think
if
he
you
cares
play
about the
outside of the game,
5-2,
there's no
but it
interest
does
if you put
help
a
his
compete
game.
against.
He's on the wood port.
Like, I'd rather just set
But
it out at this point.
I can see
Like,
him
if
going
it's
straight
just-
to the 9-10.
No, don't.
too.
No, I don't want you stepping it out.
If he
Yeah.
goes to the 9-10
Aja
too,
do
his
one
road
breach here.
network is still fluid. You know, in the most
Mhm.
efficient way
Wood.
possible.
I don't
And he
know.
not doubles up, but he gets himself onto another spot of wood,
Honestly,
Wait, really,
which
how
I would
many cards?
argue might even
I'll do it
be
if you
maybe
throw in
better
two
than
future orbs.
tripling the 5, which is just so easily
Getting
blocked.
2
you know.
or
Yeah.
hand ever. So, sure.
You also get
I'm
onto
gonna
the
make you
2,
Portland.
which
I'm gonna make
we
you
know
4 to
probably
1
will
when you have
roll
4
this
cards
game
in
at
the
least
set.
once.
Yeah, being on that low production
I just
number,
want to-
especially on ore,
Yeah, that's fair.
will
I
be
don't think I'm
massive for a
fighting you
player
to-
down the road, and
That's worth it.
it just sucks if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to block a 12, block a 2, block an 11. They rarely roll, so it's tough for an opponent to block your 12 brick or 12 ore, for example.
Any trade?
Definitely.
I only
Yeah, I have more brick for you.
Aja is so defeated right now. He builds one road, asks for a trade verbally
You
instead
shouldn't
of
allow me, maybe.
on colonist for the stat later to develop on his player profile.
If you
But
didn't
he goes down
break
to
my
No,
set,
they-
I
9-1.
would
And
have
honestly,
found-
at this point, I think he deserves it.
I don't have
Yeah.
He's not in a great
Make it
spot,
spot.
and I think the board 100% would be okay with him getting that over Kelly if Kelly would propose some kind of race.
Yeah, I thought we could
But-
have friendly game. I'll trade you sheep and
Yeah.
wheat, and you're gonna get the wheat and the sheep.
So,
Okay,
Poppy, what's your favorite development card, and what do we think Kelly
Is that
has
I
down
think
there?
we'll have wood in the future.
Okay, so my favorite
Kelly, do you
development
want
card
insurance?
in 4-player Catan
I only have
which
brick to offer. and I'm not gonna
differs,
give up the
you
ore.
know, the amount of players is the Monopoly. I think it's just like the
I think I'll just
biggest like catalytic card that can change the game.
You already manifested.
I've seen
first,
swings of
7 out from me.
you know 3
It's
points
too bad
to
I
like
can't be
5
mad at you
points if
because
there's
you're a little
another win
behind.
condition attached to that, like road, you know.
Don't do this.
But I love that card a lot. However,
I
you know,
don't
playing in a
watch it.
3-person
It takes
tournament
me a
recently, my experience in
not really
3-player
actionable right
games,
now, it's
Monopoly cards are a lot weaker. So I don't think
think
it's
once he-
just,
once
you know, with the amount of
Aja gets
turns
the
and
lead for it,
the amount
he's
of
gonna be
cards that are
pretty
developed and spent per turn. But I don't
Actually,
think
it becomes self-sufficient.
so. I
at
don't
that
think it's
point,
like
too,
the
for
universally
Wildcard.
best
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
But
By
that's
any
my
means.
favorite card in this
Careful with
format
shorter.
of game. Definitely.
Yeah. No, that's spot on. I think in 3-player, the row builder might be even equally as good or maybe better.
I completely agree with that. Actually, yeah.
Yeah. So
You're not
very situational.
be that
Catan is a very deep game, and
player.
one of the unfortunate parts of the game, we just saw Kelly 7 out and dump 4 brick. So
I think that's the second time we've seen Kelly 7 out.
Yeah, I have a 3 read.
I can go ahead and check that. Actually,
But I'm gonna
You
probably
have better sheep, better wheat than me. And only the
yeah,
difference
it's
I
the
have is
second
that I have
time
the
Kelly
ball.
has
I am
7'd
the
out.
good
Bunko has 7'd
do you
out
want,
one
Kelly?
time.
Chicken wheat for whatever I pull.
Shanks has burned 4 cards.
yeah, for
And
break.
Aja has burned 4 cards for a card 1. So
Whatever we do.
everyone's kind of had their taste in inefficiency, I think, so far in this game.
yeah. So it looks like Kelly's trying to settle in the 11-12 with that potential trade. No, he wants to dev. All right, so he's got 2 devs, and he's got
I need to wait.
2 hidden development cards that
Random stuff
nobody
to cities,
has really
yeah.
even kind of questioned about so far. So
Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely leaning into the development card game. He bought that first one, which
Well, not when you get
you know kind of like chose his path a little bit, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad strategy. Like it's one that I do all the time. You're also just like kind of gambling that you'll get a card that allows you to maybe city faster, like a Yop. I think would be great for him. Monopoly's of course amazing. We talked about it, but a Yop is also great in its own right because it allows him to city, you know, basically pull 2 ore from the bank. A road builder is nice as well in his spot, depending on where he
No, I need
goes,
sheep.
such as the 9 wood wheat port. You know, I could see him using it for that
That's
spot, but nobody else is really buying devs, so his position
It's more
is
likely you're
not
on a
bad,
book instead of the-
I would say.
Yeah,
at all.
it's
Yeah.
good for you since I'm being robbed.
agreed. I think Kelly's position is very good here. I picked them to win. I think their setup just enables them to be a bit more flexible. I think if we're looking at all the other players, they have their own issues in their own right. So the dev at least to
Limited
pop
time
those
only.
development cards.
Yeah, you will get the
So
six.
hopefully we'll see, Aja settle on this wheat port soon, and then his game will be
Holidays.
1 for 1.
onto the races.
Holiday sale.
Yeah, so I actually
The
love
6? Yeah. And now
I
it's
just
like-
love-
Now it's wood and brick.
24K, man.
As I
But
But
the
he
wood-
made his
I
own. He
was
said
predicting this game.
I give the wood and a non-block.
Hold on. Let me read it. He said,
I don't
"Word
know.
on the street
Wood
is
and all
VPs are bad.
Okay.
VPs are
He
pretty
might-
good.
no,
I would
do
say
what
the
you do.
argument is VPs are the best
He's got plenty of other
development
spots he
card.
could block.
But I mean, I don't know. There's certain cards that I feel like
Yeah, I
allow
know.
you to pull 2 points with that action,
I'm just
or
so
like
happy
that
that at
singular
least I'm
card compared to
predicting
the
the
VP
guy.
that gives you a point. So there's an argument for each,
Said yes.
for sure. But I just think the other ones are a lot more fun than just holding a
Fine.
point in
I
your
think
head.
Yeah,
Where you have to
once-
be
once-
strategic
once
with how
you
you
get
play the
the
development
report.
card.
I mean, like,
But
Yeah, for sure.
how good
And we
for-
have Real Crate in the
when
chat,
you're on
a 2018 world finalist of Catan.
Pretty good.
He says Knight is the best development card. So that's the first time someone said Knight
you
was
can block
the
the 4, but
best
brick
development
is-
card.
that is the development card where you can
Yes.
kind of trigger some pain, you know,
Europe
and start some
Java?
conversations, I guess.
Paid.
But yeah,
He has weed and wood. He's trying
so
to get. that's
Aja
actually a good
was
roll
able
for
to
him.
build another road since I've been
I think him
surveying
with
the
the
board a little bit,
Fighting road
which is
against
good
Buckle.
because
That's too
he's gonna
close,
be able to
isn't it?
get that spot and up his
The
game,
vibe roll,
which he
the
needs
combination
that
of
to
wood
kind of
and
keep pace
weed
with
out here.
Kelly, you want
Shanks.
wood?
It looks
Me?
like
I'm nowhere close
is
to
in
this.
the
I don't
lead
have
right
cheap
now.
sheep. I don't need wood.
Buckle's
I
in a
actually
good
need
spot,
sheep.
but the wood port
Give me cheap, but
is kind of
you just
slow.
got cheap.
I think if he just is on one
Did I? Oh,
wood tile,
I
which
don't
is
need
the
aim.
5,
You don't
But
even
we'll
know
see if he
what's in your
survives
hand.
this rotation from a 7.
People
He
people
collects
think
all
way
the
too
cards
much
that expand.
time.
And I know you can do this trade.
I'm just here.
It'll
for
be
the
interesting
memes.
when
No, I only have
Shanks
one brick. I don't need. a wood.
prioritizes next, where he
You have
goes.
11. Wait, how did
I'd
you get
imagine
wood?
the sheep
Oh, with
port,
9
but
times.
the sheep port isn't even
Yeah,
that
yeah.
strong
Okay,
in
hold
this
it,
spot.
then.
I don't even know what rolled.
He's already on, or I
Nobody
would say
did-
he already
nobody
has
did
2 productions of wood to match his
Michael,
2
you don't think
production
so?
of brick. But he would be only
I'm
porting
not giving
his
you the
sheep that he
settle
gets
for
from
I
4,
have
which
settled.
isn't high producing.
Mhm.
The 9-10-2 is such an important
Yeah.
spot for
Yeah.
Buckle, I think, to
Um,
reach the potential that I
no,
think he
because
can
I
this
have to give
game.
you a crap load of
So
cards.
it'll be interesting if he
I'll
Shanks
still
decides to go right
I can hold
to settle the
separate
9-2, which I can
Or a
actually
sheep
see him
out.
building onto the 2 ore and selling onto the 3 for 1, because I know he
sheep.
values ports.
Yeah, that's a good assessment. And ports are critical
You'd have to, like,
to playing good Catan.
I guess it's all about who
What's up?
gets
What do you
there
get? What are you
faster.
getting from that, Aja?
Shanks only has 2 cards,
think I
so I
should-
guess
Why do you
Buckle
need
should
sheep
at
so
least
bad?
be
You're
able
on
to
the
put
5
2
and
roads
the worst
down.
box.
But we'll see what happens. Aja's just
You're gonna
stuck.
get that bad way.
Oh, he's able to get his settlement and buy development card. I take that back. So Aja's back in the game,
do that
I
for
would
you
say
for
for
future
sure. Shanks puts the road to the
You
right.
get one
Okay.
for Shanks.
It's gonna be an argument. I think it's gonna come down to like
to keep it off
maybe
the border.
Shanks being able to settle
The issue though is the second,
Uh,
the second,
or
the
I'm
second
sorry,
it comes
Buck will be
out, it's
able to
gonna-
settle
it's gonna start popping.
quicker than Shanks will
Mhm.
by Shanks not developing or rolling the cards and him
Wow, I
trying to get a
actually
trade
think-
verbally
I'm never close.
11 wheat, maybe?
Absolutely.
to make the case against
Wait, what?
Buckle.
11 wheat?
Yeah,
Why?
because I don't think he'll block.
Yeah,
us.
now we have a little bit of a
That's
discussion
what I'm just-
on where Kelly
No, I
should place
don't.
tonight.
I'm nowhere close to a
What?
city.
And this is like one of the best parts of Catan.
Yeah,
where
no,
we talk about like
Oh yeah.
players are saying, I'm not the
You
rod,
again?
I shouldn't be stolen from, you should steal from
It was just
Poppy,
before.
for example, or
You want me to buy
from
the
Shanks.
again?
Sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's the
Sure.
best one for Kelly. Objectively, so that's
Anyone need sheep?
All this talk about making a city is ridiculous.
It wasn't that. It was just I don't really have good blocks to be fair on this table. I'm not
That's
really.
I agree.
What do you mean?
Buckle's City might take a while if he's not plucking ore from our opponents.
Also, if you don't see him
Wait,
porting
my one has rift.
for ore,
That's
you know,
redundant.
because I don't think he's gonna be holding a
I
lot
don't
of
know,
cards,
And bro, we're
each
sleeping
turn,
on- sleeping
which would
on
allow
shit.
him to like
He gets the
port the entire city in one turn.
Wait, I'm not.
So if he starts
I'm
porting
not
ore
opposed to
then
shifting
and not
cards.
spending it, then they can question
I
him.
do it
But
because I have
I don't even know if that's happened yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I
So,
don't. Yeah, I don't.
Real-
Scrolling. I don't see that at all from Michael actually. So
yeah.
Shanks is gonna
So
get
now we
one
see
forward
the
to-
Kelly C settle on the 11-12, which I think is
To 10.
an
I
interesting
blocked this
settle. I
right
don't think it's super necessary, but he does add another number
I
to
agree.
his
Guys, part
arsenal.
answer to that,
But he's really
yeah,
banking on
guys,
that 12 to
part
pay off big time.
Amount of huge wheat part, and you're talking about me again.
Yes, because
I completely
once
agree
you
with
settle
you.
The six, once
Yeah.
you have all that wood
Um,
brick,
it only helps his
Yeah, I
And
got
with
it. I
the-
got it.
with
It's
him being the
I know.
player that, I guess I was gonna say like one of two, but now there's three. The person who got the lead on the development cards is very interesting.
I don't know.
Because when that 12 hits,
Yeah.
it
I
will.
wish I had better.
It
I wish
will.
I had better
Or I guess
blocks
hit
on
again
this
because we've
board.
seen it hit
I wish I
already
had better
once.
blocks on this
So
board.
Buckle puts a road up, which is so funny because
Aja,
Shanks
do you
puts a road right.
need-
So they're 100%
Yes.
fighting for that spot. I think they're equally behind because I
everything.
don't think Shanks.
I could do
Give
wood
me
for.
wood?
Maybe Shanks just
Well,
settles
you-
the
you have
9-2
lead.
to prevent the
Yeah.
9-10-2, but
Actually,
I can
that
see
doesn't make
Shanks
sense for
also
me.
wanting the 9-10-2.
Yeah, 100%. And I actually think Buckle's road here is very strategic. He's committing himself to a potential battle for the 2-9-10, but he's also okay just saying, hey,
Just
I already put my road there.
like,
I can also
I-
sell him
I
the
don't know
5-2
still for
as
non-block.
Constellation Rise. Right.
A non-skip or non-block.
I'm not a
I
blocker
love
here.
that,
I'm
actually.
not a
You're
blocker here. I won't
completely
get
right
road.
there.
I won't get army.
Because it also still is
Well, I
very
don't have good blocks
complementary
on
to
this
his
board, I'm
road
not gonna
network,
solo it, I don't think
where
it
he
goes
just
far.
wraps the 5 and
Yeah, I don't think
connects
it's okay.
from the 10.
But I think
Everybody's 4
Yeah,
points.
and that 5 wood just becomes a massive
just
roll
me
for
defeating it
Buckle,
from
right?
Yeah.
The 4.
Yeah, and a very
basically.
safe one too. If
Pronounce to
he
then.
is kind of behind a little bit and doesn't city first, but then he hits
Yeah.
2 5s,
Fine.
you know, with the
Yeah,
10,
yeah,
and then he's
yeah.
golden. So
Yep.
you're completely right there. And we'll see what his dev is too. Kelly rolled a 7, which may or may not mean that he has 2
He said
non-knights.
different. I mean, he said it.
Whether
after
that
he
has
put
been
it
seen
up.
or not,
I'm so-
I may have forgotten, but we know we can at least infer that right now at this moment. Kelly hit
And you don't even play
Aja,
It's also
interesting, and ported for
That's
an
seven
ore.
cards.
We'll see if he buys another
Okay.
development card.
he
This looks like a yacht to me. Year of plenty potentially to.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, he's holding it. Okay, never mind. I was off.
Save that. Maybe I save that.
I think he might feel fine right now if he like has a knight in his
I hate
hand
unblocking.
and he just didn't want to unblock himself. So he's fine with not buying a development card because he mainly wants to just play defense until he can safely
Yeah, I
save
think
for a
there's,
city.
there's so much space.
Shanks, you trade me wood for now.
Yeah.
I'm not a block here, but yeah, I do.
I don't need it.
Should have done the same,
Okay.
Aja.
Very good
I do have
negotiation. You know, an extortion tactic used by Aja here, saying, "Hey Shanks, give me a wood and I won't block you."
Means you are
And
in the race, and I am.
Shanks is probably not blocked anyways at the moment, and hits Kelly, who Aja might get an ore from after he ported for one. So really nice move.
Definitely.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. So
And Poppy, who was your pick again to win this game?
I like Buckle.
Okay.
I just think
I'll give this.
my main reason is that he would stay out of
I'm
the
just holding it.
the toxic stuff a little bit, maybe. Like I've seen less of that from him, and I've seen him succeed from
You
kind of
weren't
like
sure
a
if
come
you wanted to
behind
rob me either.
player where he kind of stays under
I
the
was sure
radar
about that.
because of
Mhm.
that reason
You
as
said you
well.
weren't sure if you went on a board
Just because
six.
I can already see how this table is kind of forming verbally.
Yeah.
But that's my pick. It's also very dependent on
Only
how
one
he
with
expands.
weeds.
But I think your point to
Up to
his
you. I'm on
road
the 6
being
week, like I said.
completely
Same thing all game.
perfectly
On the 6 and
strategic
the 11.
allows him to be flexible and still be in a strong position. So I still like Buckle's spot.
Yeah, I love Buckle's spot too, and
I'll get my
we have. I don't think we've. Did he just buy the development card? I think no, he didn't play the development card, so maybe he has a victory point, monopoly. His position is really good.
Shanks rolled a 7, blocked the 6. That's his best block.
Yep.
He
Yep.
hits Buckle, which makes sense because they're racing. Shanks
Yeah.
has been able to collect more cards than Buckle, so we'll see if he tries to be greedy and save for that row settle, or if he
Why
just
not?
settles on the 9-2.
He wants to mono the
Yeah.
ore,
Kelly hits Shanks,
Yeah.
which makes
All you
sense
guys
because
could
I
play
think
more
Shanks is
outside
stronger
mono.
than Buckle at the moment.
How are you getting all the ore? I'm getting a 0.
Yeah, Buckle bought another dev, so a non-knight we can assume, or at least
Yeah.
infer. Yeah, VP mono is on our radar for both Kelly and Buckle, I think at the moment. Because I think Kelly has one non-knight question mark, and
Yeah.
one that we may or may not know. I'm not too sure.
For free?
Yeah.
From who?
Oh no, it doesn't work. I need wheat and cheese.
Who do you want it from? Can I get 5 non-blocks?
5 non-blocks.
Must be nice to have the wheat port.
Yeah,
So Aja buys a dev.
not
I think Aja's just playing a flexible game at this point. He has
Or
one night
block all
played.
day.
Kelly's not playing a night. He could get pacing. He could play that kind of game with the wheat port being his sheep. Or, it's
Yeah.
also very tradable, I think.
Being a fishing for the ore.
But yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, but Shanks is at.
That almost gives,
But
I
just
think,
go from Shanks
some
anyways.
reason to Kelly to play
Up
a
to you. I
night.
think you could take the chance of the one.
Mhm.
from
If
Andre
he has
probably.
one. So
Yeah.
maybe
Like,
he does.
what is
It's 1 in 4.
Buckle
Yeah, but
uses
I
a
don't
knights,
just want to leave Shank.
which he probably
Even
has
though he's on
one
8. I hate
non-knight.
the 8
Well, you could say that
He should hit
you
Shanks
could put it on the 4
because he's
and then
racing,
hope that
but
Oz
Shanks
gonna
is
hit him
over
then too, so
7
just
cards,
loses
so he
2
wants
cards
him to
there.
7
No,
out.
if you rob me, I'm gonna rob you back.
Yeah, agreed.
Could
He
say
probably
that.
hits.
I'll take it for 2 cards.
Probably want Shanks
The
to 7
aura?
out here. And there's 3 rolls
If I don't
that
steal from
Shanks
you?
has to do before his turn, so you probably won't steal from Shanks here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And he does. Never mind. Maybe Buckle has a different idea.
I guess the idea is Shanks is just going to roll more cards, which is true. You know, his production is very good. He rolled a card again, which took him over 7 points. Or sorry, seven cards. So he's right back at it, and you know, maybe Buckle took an important card from Shanks. So I still think that play is fine, and I think the 4 is the perfect block for the table
Road is not
that
guaranteed.
wants to focus on
I wish I
a
had
non-Buckle
space.
player.
Shanks
Kelly
has
has,
so-
Kelly has VP and the mono. Buckle's
Evan,
for army for some reason.
Yeah, so
and
Aja
usually
plays a
the
9.
Yeah,
I
because
can-
He is
I'm
blocked.
not, I mean, I gotta do
so
something.
there
I
is
can't just sit around with all
incentive,
this weird
but
shit in my
Aja's,
hands, like,
I want to
my
say
eight's
committed,
committed.
but
Sheep
almost
from
committed to the.
I mean, I've been freaking blocking stone from the whole game. I don't have really.
Army race.
Yeah, the army race. Thank you. The largest army race, because road is kind of out of the question. He's not able to connect his settlements,
And no, road is
and
not.
his
guaranteed
space
at all.
is
He's
not
What's in your
great
hand,
compared to
Buckle?
other players. So
What's in-
he's a development card player. So
Well,
that's
if
Kelly's
you steal from
direct
me, then I'm gonna
competition.
just like you said to me. if you
Shanks
steal from
is
me,
hitting
I'm gonna
Buckle at the
steal.
moment, but
Like I have one card.
I don't even know what kind of game Shanks is going to be playing. Most likely a build to 10.
So
I think
of
Buckle
switching for
does
ore.
get
What am I
road.
doing?
Yeah, I
Evox made a
thought you were gonna
comment
do that
earlier
all
saying
along.
Yeah.
That's
that,
right.
I
Objectively,
forgot, for some reason, I forgot that
Buckle
I'm not
is
the only
almost
one with
like
ore.
in the worst
Yeah,
spot
yeah,
because
I
he's
don't have
like
any,
the
so
road
Yeah.
you know.
Well, at least you have sheep.
botch,
I have
the
one
road
Yeah.
botch.
out of 7.
Road batch. Yeah.
road batch.
Yeah.
So like we'll
I
see how that
cannot do anything,
develops,
so
but Buckle also has 2
Shanks.
development cards, and maybe he's also searching for a card
What
that'll
art, Aja?
allow him to city.
Yeah.
Because I
You
do
have
agree he's a
bricks.
player that should take road,
So,
but if he's
oh,
able
my
to
wheat
city,
bag.
Shanks
or
is a road instead of
get fed road, and then city from that development card, how he plays it, that'll be very strong for his position. I can see him doing
Yeah.
that.
2 roads for 2 hours.
Yeah, and Buckle's city is always a 5-8-10 at the current moment, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, tripling that 5.
It's 2 roads.
I'm
you
nine
can take road
cards.
with
I'm
that.
9 cards. I'm 9 cards. I can
You
set
can
it
take
out,
road
so
with that.
Yeah.
I'm
But yeah,
also
Ebox
doing
is also
that.
saying in the
Does-
chat where
would help
you know Aja's game is a little bit difficult here, and he personally likes his setup the least. Aja only has 2 more settlement spots available to him, and he needs to city up ASAP if he wants to continue this dev card race.
You're not that desperate.
I agree with you.
Like you don't even
Because
have
I
to take one
think
for it, so
it's easier. Well,
No.
I think it's easier for
I risked
Aja
seven
to
out,
build a
sorry.
city,
I
but
risked not
Kelly
doing
looks like he
anything in my
has
turn
non-knights,
against that.
so maybe they
I'm
have a
already
pretty
risky.
What if you give me
good
2
card that'll
ore
allow
and
them
I
to
give
get
you
ahead of
7
Aja.
for the 2 bricks?
Because I
Yeah.
think the dev
Look
player
at the person
who's
here that's
able
willing to
to, or the
deal with you.
or
I
we
mean,
cheat,
you're,
the player
it's
who
a
are
city
buying
for you. I
development
can't
cards,
keep it.
whichever player's able to
I'm
city
here
first,
too
So I
for
can-
what
I
it
think
is.
will win
Still
Yeah,
alive.
okay.
that race. I
Mhm.
just production is the main thing. Aja's I think the best,
I know that
Best
trade sucks. I'm
flexible
not doing
wise,
2 cards for a useless
maybe.
sheep.
or actually I take that back. I like Kelly's flexibility a lot more with the
not
3-for-1 compared to just the wheat port.
Saying it's useless.
But either way, a city is important because the 6-3-11 city,
You want to
you
start?
know, is
Okay, I might
almost
do this.
game over for Kelly if he doesn't get one first, in my opinion.
I like
Yeah.
trades.
Yeah, for sure. Getting that, you know, city on the wheat port, monster, 6-3-11 production spot. But looks like Aja is now saving up
for
for
your city.
maybe a city. He ported 4 wood for an ore, so let's see what he does here.
I have city. I'm not sure what did I city on.
Oh, okay. So he has a city. We just heard that.
I think there's no question to
Yeah,
6-3-11.
probably. Maybe
honestly.
it's not bad.
Why would you not city the freaking 6-3-11?
Yeah.
Because it's
The
blocked.
Even
it's
Buckle
getting
is
blocked
conferring.
also, like.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
have a wheat port and you don't want any other ports.
But I mean, 9-5. It's better to get free resources now than just 8. Fine, I'll trust
No.
you on this. I don't know, but I think the 9-5-10 would be
Oh.
better.
Buckle.
But I don't know.
I mean, I thought it was obvious. I think he's just playing that.
Yeah, I should. Why I didn't settle the 9-5 then?
Oh,
Like already now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I figured Shanks would want to go 9-10-2 instead of
mark
just
my
safely
words.
cutting
Shanks
him
is
off
gonna
at
know this
9-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you did not have built stupid road,
I think it
the 9-10.
really weakens
A stupid road to
Buckle's
the 9-10.
potential to blow up, but I don't think he's like at all out of it. Like you talked about, his road is so strategic where it allows him to be flexible.
Aja has
Where-
It is a good spot for Shanks to
where
take
else
away
am I
from
supposed to go
Buckle,
now?
but I
have to
almost
vote
think
for the order
Shanks
there, Shanks.
benefits more from the 3-for-1.
Just
For it,
Okay.
It gives him double 9 and a 10,
I
which
can
is
still
another
connect
weak
even
spot,
with
but
that for me.
I think Shanks needs flexibility
Maybe Shank's gonna
to
bump
keep
him.
up with the other players who
You
have
got
that
the R,
already,
so now
like
what you're
Aja
blocking.
and his weak port, who now has a city on the
Mhm.
6-3-11.
I have a break in hand. I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
he needs break.
That's a good assessment. And it looks like Kelly is the king of rolling sevens. So he's been getting pretty unlucky in this game.
Yeah,
Why do I listen to and building city on?
that's tough to see. And the thing is, like, Kelly is in this game, so Kelly would have been even
9-10.
further, you know,
If you don't want to make it
developed,
plowed, then
where maybe he has a city by now, maybe he has
what do you have, Aja?
2 additional
Break.
devs.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Then
that just
trade me
speaks to like what his position is already
If you
right
don't-
now.
If you don't make
Um,
it plowed.
No, I don't
So
know.
he's definitely still in this game. Everyone really has a shot, but I think Buckle
Who
now
Were you
remains
getting,
What
under
about
the radar a little
For
bit
the
until
5-2.
he cities.
can you throw in a non-block with us? I'll do it.
So Buckle
do you
wants
do you want him
basically
to
a
actually
trade
hit the
to
5-2?
Not
to
necessarily.
a 5-2.
I'm going
Or
to
at least
I'm going
bring
to
it down to the
I'm going to
5-2.
zero.
Settles.
I
You
think
don't
it
need
is
to.
important
I'm going to 0 cards. It's not about
because
it's
then
not the
Shanks would
road.
start playing a road game
it's
to cut
about.
him off with a
Why not
5-2,
go 5-2?
and Buckle would
first
just be
place?
dead in the
I'll
water.
never go there.
To basically
So getting this
kill my
road
road.
down
Yeah.
is
That's
very
fine.
smart.
Wait.
I'm not
I
playing
think
road. I won't get
I said
road when I'm
I
playing
think-
at a table against
think-
me.
I
I'm playing
think-
2-10.
I think you should play road. Honestly, with all your wood
No,
breaks.
I'm not table
Okay,
that
so
everyone
yeah,
hates me. I'm not playing
I love
road.
that.
No
I
one
think that was
Easy to
really
lose, to
smart.
lose. Not
I
table
I love
where
the
everyone
table
hates
talk
you.
surrounded
Look
by
at
the
Kelly's rob on me.
by the
He's
situation.
garbage.
But I do think
Come on.
that was the right move by Buckle to get that trade
Kelly,
and
you are just
port for that road.
Well, you only had 2 cards.
Because even if
Yeah, I
Shanks,
think Buckle.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Like even if Shanks says that he's not playing for road, you know, he has all the space and production to do so now that he's, you know, given him an extra wood, you know, yeah, and he has all that space at the top.
Mhm. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think this is heating up to be a really good game. We're well
I don't have wood. I can give you
underway into the middle of the game now in Catan, you know, where players are getting that production up. They're really trying to skyrocket themselves towards the end game and how they close the game.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a very critical couple orbits. And it looks like Shanks just got the best
What are
city
we doing here?
on the board.
By far, you know, he gets another ore spot production basically, which gives him a full 3 per roll, and that's what he needs to city, you know, quickly and efficiently.
I don't know. What you
So he's in a great spot. He's leading in victory points. He verbally said he's not going for road, even though he's literally best set up for road right now. I would say, besides Buckle, who is most likely going to get fed, like Ebok said. You know, Karm did say earlier as well that Shanks was in a great spot, but we'll see how, you know, how it develops. Shanks keeps saying that he's built to
Do you need
10,
anything, Buckle?
but even him building to 10 is still pretty scary because all he needs is 4 points,
Maybe.
and he just road settles onto this 3-for-1 port now, is my guess, for 7 points,
Yeah.
and then builds another 2 cities,
So
or
you
builds a
have
city
it,
and
so
pulls a
it's-
VP.
Yeah, if he doesn't get VPs, maybe he could, you know, get a knight to protect himself, or he pops and gets a monopoly. So, you know, every dev card is pretty good for Shanks.
I can give you sheep if that helps, or pink or something.
How much sheep do you have?
So Kelly needs a city desperately. Like, he needs to get that going on to
Wood.
keep
Yeah,
up
wood.
with the game.
No.
I think Buckle's pacing pretty well too, depending on his down development cards. But it seems like, yeah, Shanks is really in the lead here, and thankfully the table should be happy he's at 0 cards.
Nah, I think
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, never mind. Now he's at 4.
I'm just too stuck here now. Everyone's
Yeah,
got cities
no,
now, I'm
definitely.
just
Like
going
Buckle
into
needs a
city.
city to kind of compete well with Shanks, I think, at this point for a
No, I think
potential
Shanks is
road
gonna win the
sneak
dubs
kind
here.
of situation.
Buck, yeah,
And
Buck,
Kelly needs a city because Aja
And I
has a
think we
city
should be
and
working together,
is
Buckle, to get
beating
each other's
Kelly, in my
cities.
opinion,
I agree.
on the Or We
I
Cheap
agree.
game long term, just because of production sake.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
That's
if
why I
Kelly,
wish you did
let's say,
that deal with
doesn't
me,
have
Baraja.
a night card, well, he obviously didn't
You are
play
getting
one, so
army, what are
he
you
feels
doing?
like he has at least one
I
orbit
can't
where
continue to buy
Aja does
devs
not
at
have
the
a
12
dev.
or when I need to city and you have a
But
city
he's
down, you're
saving
doing
for
nothing but
city at the
dev.
moment, so
Okay, then
it's
stop
tough.
buying
It's tough
devs.
to say, but
Same
both
for
of them
They are
need a
they
city.
are
I will say
points
the
and trying
last
to give
player
cities for each
who has
other.
a city
Pasha,
almost
You guys can
I can give you
loses
dev.
most of the time,
I
in
can help
my
you have a
opinion,
dev. So
because they're
Yeah.
just so far behind.
They don't have EV.
Where everyone's expanded onto
No, not at the
ports,
moment.
you know, other settle spots, and
I mean, two
cities
cities
and
as well.
they
I
have
think
it.
for the or with or for.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, if
No,
you
that's too
but
much.
Shank-
That's too much.
Shanks already has a city on the Wii port, and like Kelly doesn't have that.
No one
That's
else
why-
giving you.
That's why we shouldn't just give Shanks devs.
I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
He's not giving me
Cool.
devs. I'm saying I would give Pasha devs.
Yeah,
but-
as
but why
Poppy
would
gets
you?
some water,
Like,
I'll talk a
Aja-
little bit more
Because
about
Kelly
the
is
players
Kelly-
here.
I mean,
Aja,
Like,
the league is from
having Kelly with arms
the
is
Czech
safer.
Because
Republic.
if you're giving Kelly cities and
Very strong
Kelly
player,
giving you cities,
Central
the
Europe.
only reason I see to
one of
Kelly
the
cities is
top
giving
players
Pasha
there, I would
devs.
say.
No,
And then
but
Shanks,
You
again,
had
from
6
Brazil,
points, one goal
Brazilian,
from 8 points, and
national
Kelly is
champion.
destined to give you city.
So
For
he'll be
city
going to
settle
Worlds
and build one road and win
2025.
the game. So
It's gonna take
Kelly's
a ton
from
of-
the
it's gonna take
US.
a ton of work for me.
He
We need
is
to work
from
together to
Florida,
get a
I
city.
believe, and then
They don't give you.
Buckle is also from the US.
Yes,
I believe.
exactly.
In Kentucky.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say Kentucky. That's right.
And you can also easily build a road and go
I can
flying.
give you
A great
future
bunch of
league
guys.
if
That's
you do
that's for
that.
sure. This is
There's
such a
no
fun
road to
game.
Don't.
I
Like,
can't.
we
I
got
can't, Asha.
everything.
That's too good for you.
I feel
not
like
that
pretty
good
high
for
level
you.
It's just
play.
one dev card.
You know, from people who
I
deserve
know,
to
I
be
know,
here.
but-
You know, this is the
But there are two
Premier
roads,
League,
2
King of
hours for
Catan,
me,
the
so
best of the best,
Hmm?
and the semifinals at that.
I can give you my 2 hours.
We've
The
also
second
gotten
part
the
that
you know
goes
the
only,
very
so
fun
it's
banter
hard
as
to
well.
get
So
those.
it's been a great game.
Yeah,
Or like,
these guys are active talkers on the table, so interesting to see
I'm willing to give you,
you know,
my future
where they
league.
go from there.
I think you need more.
I can't.
And I'm
Sorry.
giving you 2 cards as well here.
I can't. Sorry, Ash.
Okay.
Not at this moment.
I have nothing to do then.
Big roll
See?
for Shanks.
Big
Three
roll.
or-
I was about to say that Forrest
So
Gump.
his hand is currently
He's got-
6-4, 2
he's
sheep,
got
I
Then
believe.
you would do it.
So it's a really awkward hand to
You
be
do.
honest.
I guarantee you, or
No,
I shouldn't
no,
say
it's-
guarantee.
I cannot port
my
Forrest
thought
Gump.
is he.
I'm parting 4 hours here. It's up to you. Do you want 2 hours for
My
anything
thought
or
is
something,
he
or-
tries to trade
Yeah,
his
he would be
ore
fine.
successfully for
I don't
city
want
this
to
turn.
because it puts me over. You would need to give me insurance with that.
What about this?
I mean, I'll.
I'll do
I'm not
partnership instead of or if I do
Interesting.
And then I want
I think he's trying his best to city, and he's gonna
It
say city to
doesn't
649,
help.
and he's just a monster.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He doesn't
parting
need the
4 hours
3 port
because one
anymore
of
because he's efficient everywhere.
one of these guys has mono, so
Mhm.
it's okay.
Just went for
So Shanks is saying that,
We're
hey,
just
I'm
burning
trying
our
to take,
sheep and
I'm
our-
trying to
just
decrease my
burning
hand
our
size,
guys.
anticipating that there's a monopoly out there.
I think you're gonna be buying that.
So that's a very, I would say, high level concept in Catan, trying to play around that monopoly so that players can't profit off of it.
Definitely.
Oh, that's another one.
Too low.
I would also like to thank everyone for tuning in. Quick reminder, this is the King of Catan Premier League semifinals. Very excited to be here, and
Do
we
you need
very much
Brett?
appreciate your guys' time for tuning in and sharing this amazing game with us. Great, I'm sorry, I don't have slots. I'm not the, you know, the Davbov, the king himself. But we're working.
He could
We're
win the
working on
game.
that.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
He builds roads.
And as a reminder, guys, follow and subscribe to
7, 9,
Poppy Chulo
settle
on the
and
Twitch
wins.
stream so he can continue streaming for us.
Oh yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah. I don't always ask, but I feel like I'm gonna start.
buying
you
that
know?
card.
I'm gonna start. Just you know, I
I'm gonna be
appreciate
stuck
it,
needing a
but
city. Like,
All right, so we'll see what
Hey,
Hey, then
we'll
stop
see what
buying
Kelly
def cards
tries to
and
do here.
focus
He
on the
needs a
city.
city.
No, because any ore that's in my hand is gonna get plucked.
He wants 3 sheep.
I think you guys are still gonna rob for the chance to pluck ore for me. With how desperate you've been wanting devs, because you
I
don't
can
really
give
have a
you,
play.
I can give you like 3 ore if you just stop buying def cards and let me get army. Easy as that.
If I'm Kelly, honestly, here with
Now
Aja,
I'm not willing to
I'm just
defend this
accepting that
city
and then
because-
continuing
would
to
you
buy
do
dev
that?
cards. Because Aja would do the
Yeah,
exact
if you
same
stop
thing.
buying def cards,
I'm not like
don't
one
take
to
won't
just
buy-
like
I
go
won't buy-
against
I
like
won't buy- I
verbal
won't buy
deals and
that.
like be
It's too late, you
dishonest.
have knight in hand.
But
Mhm.
I'm just saying like with how this table is gonna get played, at least between Aja and Kelly, because I think Aja and Kelly are a little bit more like a little bit looser with their like promises. You know what I mean? At times,
Yeah.
I mean, the
depending
4 isn't
on
on.
the
It's more to
situation.
slow down Shanks here if I block the 10V, but I know it hurts you too, Buckle. That's my issue. I
It
guess
hurts
yeah.
him more if you
Why-
block the break.
So Kelly
Yeah.
takes
Brick
army, which is
Should I block
great.
these, right?
You know,
I mean, if
he
Aja's-
needs
if
army,
Aja's
and
your
I think
army
the table would
competition, why wouldn't you
try to
block
feed him
the
army if
as well
he
as
I'm not
you
arming
didn't have it
competition. How am
with
I arming
Aja
competition?
having
Yeah,
a
I'm
city
like,
and Kelly
Because
without
you're
a
the
city.
closest one to him.
So we can
Bucko, by the way, you have
assume
to-
or infer Kelly's on 7 points here with
Why
the
don't you block
VP.
the 8?
Aja is one to keep an eye on. I think Shanks is in the lead though, but Kelly
Keep
hits
buying def cards.
Aja,
I will.
you know, player black
Watch me.
because of the
So-
competition of development
So
cards.
Aja,
Boggle rolls a
will build
4,
road,
which
but
is
you have to
blocked.
move into
Great
one
block.
block.
That is such a.
Or I'm not
That's the
building-
best
or I'm
block
not
on the
building
board,
road.
I think.
I
Yeah.
mean, Shanks. I mean,
By far. By far.
I mean, one.
And Kelly ends up porting 3 of his sheep
No,
for
no,
a
but I'm
wheat.
saying,
I'm not taking-
yeah, but
and
you-
hold.
So if you don't build a road, then we
I'm not
can
exactly
try.
sure
Why
about
should I
that
say
move
that
to hold.
So you just
Maybe
handle
his
it.
hand wasn't optimized for it, but
Well,
now
it's 6 points,
he's
and
likely
Kelly
to
is 7
come out
points, and
or
road
go over
7.
7 with a couple
we're not
rolls.
guaranteed
So,
that, he's gonna, that he has it. You could have a mono.
Yeah.
He has road settle to win. That's very potentially.
Mm,
So
Yeah, keep in mind,
Yeah.
Road has not been taken.
yeah, and has 8 cards in his hand.
You know, let's take a
so-
quick
like
scan of
9
the
and
board.
8.
He gets-
I
Kelly
can- I
could
can
have
guarantee-
7
he gets
points
7.
I
here.
can guarantee I'm not going there.
Road
for
road
no
settle,
plus
like
one.
Shank says. That's a
Not-
great
not
point.
ever.
You know, like I
But you have to
I,
do the
I had
road.
Road in
If
my
you
mind,
settle
but
somewhere
you know,
else
I was almost
first,
looking at Shanks, looking
no,
at Buckle.
Yeah.
Kelly could double play
I'll
here.
build the road.
You know, like, and maybe
Okay.
he's trying to be sneaky about it, like Shanks is saying. But he did port,
Wait, you're
for a
taking
week,
risks that Shanks doesn't
which
take,
if
correct,
he was,
Juan?
I think, trying to
That's
do a
so that
road
you
settle,
possibly
he'd
don't
port
take it.
for something like wood.
Oh, I'm
where
nowhere
he
close. I
needs,
still
you know,
need a
3
city.
wood compared
I'm
to
capping 5 settles.
like
Well, if
3
you're at
wood
7,
and
you
1
could-
wheat, you know,
yeah,
compared to 2
No,
wheat.
he has
Yeah, you can road.
He can
So I
settle.
think Kelly
He can
porting
settle.
for
He
wheat
can
But
there
settle.
if you have VP,
is very like
Has
reflective
settled.
of the city,
I don't have.
not really
Yeah.
you know, a road settle play, but still a good point by Shanks.
Fine, then play around the mono.
I agree. And now the 11 pops,
Player on
and
the mono.
Kelly picks up another wheat.
I
So I
do.
think he might be regretting that port
But you're 9 cards.
potentially. But Aja profits the most here with triple 11,
No, I need
utilizing that wheat port potentially.
I'm not going to beat my
Yes.
You have 9
Buckle
cards.
also
I
took
don't have.
road
it.
there.
I'm not 7 points.
Which
I'm at 6.
I'm at 6.
I
also.
love
And you
him
have
going
9
to the
cards.
to the
I'll
you're
do
throwing on the 2. Like I like the
Oh, you
5,
have
but
cards,
honestly,
okay.
like
I
it's
do
only
wheat
1
and
more
something
wood,
else.
so it's only like optimal if the 5 rolls twice. Let's say to benefit from that extra productive spot, in my opinion. And the 2 is, you know, always
Breaks
fun to
down.
roll, but the
No,
3
I
for
know
wood
it
is
doesn't.
the most
Yeah.
important, I
I know.
think, with how
That's
his
support.
you know production is
Yeah.
kind of set up across the board. But him taking road that way is interesting.
that
I still
mono.
think he can connect just
Don't
as
only
fine
that-
and
Don't have
or
mono.
expand his position, or even, you know,
Yeah.
be fed by the other players. Shanks was able to convince Buckle
He's
to
in the
use his
chat.
cards to take road to prevent a double play potential by Kelly, which may or may not be smart
Still on
because
the,
Kelly now has
upselling
10
your
cards.
non-block logic.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah, I totally agree. And let's see if Kelly is the king of
Yeah, I
sevens.
did. I blocked
Oh.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
That one.
I think I spoke that one
You
to.
got lucky.
I manifested that.
Chapha.
Yeah, but I did it with
Oh
I
my
apologize,
gosh.
Kelly.
No,
I apologize if you rewatched the
This
stream.
is so
I'm
bad.
sorry.
This
I'm
is
at
so
6
bad.
points,
We're gonna go
Kelly.
through
I'm
the
at 6
list
points
one
with
more
you.
time. So we have Kelly, Buckle, Kelly, Kelly. So
No one
4
has
7
Wow.
outs for Kelly. That
For
is
non-block.
incredibly,
Okay.
incredibly painful.
Or for
What are your
non-block.
devs, guys, by the way?
That's so bad. Like, and like I said, he's the
Check
only
I could do
Or
R for
one of the
non-block.
2 players
I could
that
do
have
R
not
for
city.
non-block.
Yeah,
Buckle,
and
dude.
I feel like he
Wait,
will
you
already
city
blocked.
even faster than
James,
Buckle
you
at
can?
this rate.
You already
Or
blocked.
no
Just-
block,
oh,
Yeah.
You already
You're on
played.
steal. You're on steal. Shanks.
I'm still rooting for Kelly. Hopefully he's able to come back in this game. But I think with the 7-0, he looks a bit weaker
Wait,
to the table, so he might not be the immediate threat anymore. But of course, you would rather have a better turn and not 7-out versus 7-ing out.
Definitely.
5 points. I don't know why I'm doing. I'm not getting rolled. Obviously.
Yeah, we see here in
You
the
get
chat,
an army,
Nat says commentator
army.
curse. So yeah, I'll take that one on my chin. That's my fault.
I said I don't have a VP.
To be
So
fair,
we're
I
getting
think
our-
I did hear
You don't have VPs,
Kelly
so
make a
that's-
slight comment of like,
Yeah,
"Here we
like,
go"
obviously,
or
you know,
something.
look at-
So maybe that was
Stop-
like a
Stop
micro.
complaining that you don't have
micro,
city then.
jinx.
You are
Who
gonna-
I'm
knows?
still.
Yeah.
No, I have a road.
So we missed Aja by 2
Stop
devs,
complaining
which
that you
is
don't
good
have
to
city
chase
if you are
Kelly.
keep buying that
But
card.
Kelly was able to buy
Yeah,
the
Because you're
digital dev
talking
card.
about me. You're talking about me having
So,
a VP, so it's not changing your perspective. whether
Kelly
or not I have
needs
a VP or
knights to
not. You're just
basically
not going to believe me either way.
protect his position from Aja.
just-
The board
I don't
wants
have a
him
VP.
to keep army, I think, as well.
Every
So,
dev card,
I
I
think
assume it's VP.
There should have been a conversation for him
fine,
to
but
maybe get a second dev there. Because if Aja pulled 2 knights,
But like Buckle is
he
8
has
points. I'm
a
5.
slight advantage if he
Good, then
starts
buckle.
plucking from or blocking
Yes,
Kelly,
you are
pushing
also
it
8
away
points
for him
now.
not to be able
I'm
to
not.
pop again.
Yes, I have 2 VPs.
Good point.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the
that's what I
the
said.
rest of the
We are
board will
both-
probably have to
I
feed
have
that,
8 points right now,
and
Aja.
they have their
I'm
own
gonna
agendas.
win on my
you know, so
turn.
they don't
somehow.
always want to, I guess,
When
give,
you
they
take
give
army
their
from
cards
me.
for free.
Go for it.
For sure.
So,
And now we just hear Kelly, saying like, "Don't block me, Aja. I know you just played a night. I got 2 VPs." So that means he's at 8 points, and if he takes road, he wins the game. So this is a pretty bad,
it's not. I have a
unfortunate
road builder
situation
for
for
the whole
Kelly.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right, you can
that's
still win.
terrible. That's terrible.
I'm
Yeah.
not stealing
So
road.
yeah, so Kelly
I'm not
confirmed that he
stealing
had 2
or gifted,
VPs. Yeah, he's gonna be stuck at 6, probably 7 points. He'll probably
I
end
don't
this
have
game on
much
7
to
points
do.
because he goes down to 6 with Aja taking
Nothing Shanks went
army,
first, too, actually.
Mhm.
You can
as
take
well
I'm at
as
6 points.
being able to save up
I
for
know,
1
I know.
city.
If you take road.
That's
We're all
my
lying
guess.
about it.
7 to 8 points
We're all
is
lying about
probably my end point for Kelly.
How can
If
it be
what he's
9?
saying is
It's good.
truthful, the 2
Change how
VPs.
many
Free
ores?
Yeah.
you're going to take?
And that definitely changes
I'm not
things
trading ore. I have,
for
I
Aja
have
as
your
well.
plenty. Why should I trade ore?
Aja will safely go to
Unless you give
7
me a
points with
really
an
good
open
trade.
settle for 8.
How many roads
Already
do you
having a
want on
city.
Aja?
Strike, no?
And with him chasing army,
have- you don't
and
have
No,
really devs,
it
he's also
isn't. It
probably
isn't.
pulling
Yeah, but I have
other
plenty.
development cards that allow him
It's
to
also a
speed
good
up
mono.
his
Yeah,
endpoints
a good mono.
a lot
So-
quicker
so
too,
what do you
such as
want
VPs or road builders or anything that allows him
Maybe
to
3
build
bits. I don't know. You're
multiple
getting army,
points in
right?
a
So
turn. That's it.
No.
For sure.
He can mono
Yeah.
also.
And look, Aja's at 5 points showing on the board with a down
Just
development
play the
card. If he pops here, he could go to 8 if he takes army next turn. So
It's better devs.
And if he doesn't have a knight,
I did play an eye.
there's a world where Kelly actually has a mono. But even then, I still think it's very hard because say if he monos
Can I
this
get the wood
turn,
that you owe me?
he's then deciding
it's paid. Huh?
whether to
That's
pull
been paid, I thought.
No,
you know,
you
whether
know, I
to
do
use
not
the
get
mono
free wood.
cards, the cards he has from the
I
mono
think
to
it's
paid,
the-
Aja.
buy more development cards or
Well,
buy a city because
I do for the win.
Aja most likely buys a dev card here, which means that they
Free wood.
take army the next turn. So we'll see what happens. I think we lost Aja.
Yeah.
I'll do the wood for a week back.
Oh,
Poppy, I'm going to just grab some water real quick.
no,
I'll be right
no,
back.
no,
Okay.
you're
Okay,
good,
okay.
bro,
Give
sorry.
it. Give it.
He's got the weep for it too.
Also, I said
Shanks.
Aja, I meant Chapha.
I just got the weep
Alright,
for it.
so
I know
Aja
I
What's
built
this?
a
Why are you giving? I'm
I
not
just
giving
want the
ore.
free wood.
settlement.
I'm not giving you ore. You're asking for an ore here.
No, I'll do the
You,
ore
you
for
should be
week
the
back.
one. You should be the one to ask for 2 cards so we can give 1 for 1 then. Not?
Out of his mind.
So Aja used a knight already,
I
so
asked for
he
two
could
cards.
definitely have another development. Well, he has a
No,
development
like,
card here, but it
I
could
just
very
want my
well
free
be a
wood.
knight. So he could take army
Sure
next
you
turn
do.
for 8 points with that settle that he got that
I
turn.
gave him city for that. So.
But he could also not have a knight, and maybe that's why he was trying to get a trade there. But
Any
we'll
Good,
see.
okay.
Shanks
weep?
rolled an 8,
These are free
used a
wood.
yop,
No, don't
which is a
do it.
pretty
Don't-
good card if you're building 10,
Why?
which he said he would be doing.
You want
He
me
built
to
a city
keep
on
the wheat or not?
649,
You
which
want
is his
the wheat?
best spot by far. Hi, Boop.
Thanks for
Thank
being
you for
here.
joining.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Do you
Um,
need wheat? Oh,
I do. Oh, so
I
late
think
now.
Shanks can win
I
this
mean,
game by
you could have
sneaking
done that with me,
road.
so you didn't have to go through.
In no way is road
No, it was just a
Concrete.
He
gift.
owed me those cards.
with Buckle only
Yeah,
at
I
5
owed his.
and not able to
And I don't
connect in
think
an
we should
efficient
play
way
that
unless he
deep.
wraps the 5, which he
He
most
owed it?
likely will
No,
do.
no,
He
this could be
Connects the
game.
5 and then goes up across the desert,
Yeah,
let's say,
like-
or he goes to the route of connecting
Yes.
the 10 weed, but you're still
I was just taking
wasting
army
the same
from me
amount
anyway.
of
I'm looking
roads.
to
I guess
port
minus
second
1
dev here, actually.
No,
If you wrap the
it's
5
too
and connect
dangerous
the
at this
10.
point.
because you subtract the
Wait,
road
You
from
need
the
it?
2
You
ore.
need anything? Aja?
But I
This
think
looks
the
like a
board
vein.
They just roll. They
regardless.
just roll. He needs wood to get roads.
This looks
I
like a
don't-
vein.
Kelly
I
rolled
don't
a
believe
4.
It's like a
He's
vein.
really
Right
trying to get a
there.
city
Here,
here.
yeah,
This-
you're right. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, just spend your cards and I would do this 3-for-1.
It would be
But
crazy,
don't build like a road.
actually, if
Spend
Kelly
your-
has
buy a death card or something. and I-
You want me to buy a
1
dev or not buy a
VP
dev,
for
honestly?
7
You tell me
points.
at this point.
a road
I don't know.
builder,
I
and
don't
he,
want. I want you to pass.
you know,
I can't. Aja,
takes
I can't
road
tell what you
and
want from me
settles.
anymore.
I think a
Don't-
road
don't,
builder
Aja.
here would
He
actually
could
be
do
incredible.
need-
We can
For Kelly.
believe
Kelly
he
has 8
has road
cards.
builder actually.
So I think just
Kelly,
VPs.
not always.
That's
says.
all.
Okay, play your road builder and I would do the train.
Why? He
Yeah,
could
no, that's a
settle-
good point.
He can settle
Copy
one.
him.
Fine.
If he had that roll, he does have the road builder. There we go.
There you go. There's the red builder. You happy
He
now?
could still win. He could still win.
Why did you buy that card? No, I'm.
So, Kelly, we just learned that he lied about his development.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, wait,
For you.
you can't play a card
I
you
don't
just
want to
pulled.
do it for VP.
So that doesn't look like
Well, you
2
coulda got
VPs
that.
to
I would've
me,
done it with you.
honestly.
Maybe
Maybe
you
it's-
play your road builder.
Yeah,
first,
I don't know. Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, it's up in the air. Like, Kelly's
Yeah.
not out of this game.
Either way,
Aja didn't pull a card or a development card that turn.
Ugh.
So if he
You're
doesn't
not
have a
Shanks
knight,
now.
Kelly has another orbit to,
Worried about
you know, risk
Understand,
it
Buckle, I
basically for
won't
the
take
win
this spot.
with,
Yeah.
with
Thank
whatever
you, guys.
action he
Worried about
decides.
things.
But that might change if Aja just has a knight here, I think.
I can't do anything with my
Mhm.
hand right now, to be honest. I'm still at 7.
So yeah, Poppy, looks like Lundy in the chat was
I think Buckle
saying
has to
that
extend.
Kelly was always saying he had a road builder and not 2 victory points.
What?
So maybe we might have missed that.
Oh, do we miss
Aja
that?
has breaks.
I don't.
Aja,
Dang.
they rolled.
I love
no,
to-
Aja, no.
It's,
Buckle.
it's so
I'm
fun
not
to be
gonna-
wrong.
Kelly, I'm sorry.
wrong all the time.
He's not.
But, okay,
Me
so,
too.
Kelly
I'm not
has
so
breaks.
I'm not
thank you,
opposed,
Lundy, for
Buckle.
stepping in and protecting
He
Kelly's
could win
honor.
with the road here.
He was
could win.
hearing that we were
Okay.
talking about,
Okay.
you know, Kelly spewing some things that were untruthful.
What are you giving me?
He couldn't
I'm not
stand that, and I think
What? It's 2 sheep.
I think you're a
Yeah.
great friend. I think you're a great friend. So thank you for tuning in. I'm sure Kelly would appreciate that. He needs that kind of luck and support in this situation because Aja cannot have a knight for Kelly
Are
to
you
have a
just
chance to
extending
win
with
this
this?
game.
What is your
I
red go
think.
to 7?
And it looks like here the GOAT is
That's
saying
two,
he also heard that Kelly said he had 2 victory points as well. So, I don't know.
He commit the road first.
All right, so we're not crazy.
no, because I don't.
yeah,
Alright, that-
we're not crazy.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
if
the
Buckle
main thing
monos,
I'm
maybe
taking
he
away
can-
from
I
that.
Buckle might win
I
as
think.
well. Like this is
Yeah.
a road
I don't have. No,
pool.
I don't have. No, it's
Set
Set-
settle
it's
and
not-
pool.
I can't
I don't think-
extend. I can't settle extend and pull and stuff with these cards.
You have plenty of wood in your hand. Just part it and build a road.
I no.
They want him to build a road.
I think we should not trade that.
Nah, he doesn't have a city. If they want him to build a road and protect that from Kelly,
Kelly wins.
I think they
I
need to
don't,
help
I have
him.
a
I would have refused. And honestly, like I think a
I'm
player
nowhere
like
close. I'm on 7
Squash,
points right now.
Okay.
who is very
I'm on
like
7 points.
I'm not
Aja.
going to
I have
play
2 brick, 2
the
sheep, 2
road.
wheat, a knight, and a BP.
bitch game.
You want to run me for
You know, being very honest, like I'm not gonna play the
Buckle's
road
on
bitch
8,
game.
Shanks goes
With,
to 8
you know,
on
if I'm
the
not compensated for it because
You trade
Buckle
me.
doesn't even have
Yeah,
5
but if you-
settlements.
if you
down.
rob me, I
He has
can
4
extend
settlements
it.
down. You know, and no
Yeah, up to
city.
you.
He has 2
I don't
devs,
have any
which
more road
could
builder
very,
on the card.
I don't need bring that.
you know,
I'm
very
at
well
7 points.
maybe
Roll
2
7, I can
VPs,
take army or road.
which makes his position not bad.
Out of this game, I
But
guess.
if he has
You're taking army
5
to put me on 5
VPs,
here.
Who do I
sorry,
roll?
5 settlements
taking
and
army
1
to put me on
and,
5 here.
and 2
Buckle or
VPs,
Shanks?
If
then
you have
it's gonna be
knight,
very
then
hard
it's
for him to
buckle.
get his
If you don't
10th
have
point.
knight, then
I
it's
I do
think.
have a knight.
I'm not sure.
but-
Yeah.
no, but
No, that's a good
Arj has
assessment,
Why
man.
would you
And
play
it's
a
like,
knight?
like
You
Squash
think
was
another
saying,
hard
you gotta
fight, that's
compensate me if I'm
Okay,
going to be
let's
making
go.
my
Yeah, let's go.
road
Let's go
game,
for it.
extending the game for you guys. I deserve something back. E-Box
Aja,
coins it.
Fight
Community
you
service.
if you have Arj.
Right, if I'm taking road,
extending it.
I want to be, compensated
Yeah,
for
if
my
you have
efforts
knight,
to
then it's
extend the
buckle.
game.
If you don't,
So
Exactly.
at least give me something.
Yeah, yeah, which I think is definitely fair
27 points.
in
Bro,
Buckle's
7.
position.
I need 3 cities.
Like,
win.
he
And
lost
I don't have. I
his
have 2 cities.
money
in
spot,
my
which was the
my deck
knight
here.
10-2.
Mhm.
And road is now being contested. It looks like by Kelly. So because he lost army, I guess. Yeah. So Kelly's now out of this game. I think his
Not
window
getting
to
it.
win that game
I
was
have
that turn
Wait, what?
with some kind of
No one's
trade for
helping you. I'm on
road
5
settle,
points.
which
You're on 8.
very
With 2
well
cities
might
left.
have happened.
That was no block. No block.
So
That's not coming.
I don't know. But Kelly's kind of out of it. I think he ends with like 7 to
No,
8
I gave you
points. Is
2
my
no
final
blocks. You
prediction.
give me 1.
7
going back on that
points
deal.
if
You
this
wanna do
game
that
ends
trade with
soon,
me?
which is very possible,
Which
and
one?
8 points if it doesn't, meaning that
The one
Buckle
for-
is like
Good for 2 weeks and all.
I should say
Aj, I'm going back on
fed
Aj,
or
I'm
should be
going back
fed, but to
No, you
keep
just
road,
promised
but
me.
who knows?
No block.
I think these
I know-
players
I
are
know
also
they
kind
promised.
of
You promised
stingy in
me
their own
but
right
you
with
didn't give the
cards.
name.
Aja's a big trader,
I
but he's
gave
not
you
one
like
that
2 no
commentates very
blocks,
well.
Buckle.
No,
trades
but you were
and-
never
Yeah.
gonna at the time. You were never gonna.
But,
Yeah.
I gave you 2 no blocks.
No.
So it looks like we're approaching the
That's the reason
90
why we
minute
don't
mark
trade Aj.
of this
Because
game.
you
So
chose
we've
the
been playing this game for an
block.
hour and a
You were
half
never gonna
now.
block me in those
I
spots.
don't
No, I
think
would
we'll reach
always
2
block the
hours,
break.
but it's looking like a
It's easy to
slower game
It's easy to
at the
say.
moment.
Yeah. So thank you again.
This is why we
You
shouldn't
know,
have traded Aj at the
That's a
city.
good amount of time.
Why
We wouldn't
nobody
be-
And
trusts
we
me?
appreciate that you're sharing that
We
with
wouldn't
us
be in
here
the spot if we didn't trade Aj
on
at
the
the city.
stream.
Yeah.
So
I'm on
we'll see what Aja does
I've been
here.
arguing it.
Army's safe for at least 2 orbits. From Kelly hypothetically with
I know.
if
Yeah.
he decides
Kelly,
not
you
to buy
are.
a
You
city,
are.
where Kelly
Army.
would double pop,
Yes, you are.
pull 2 knights, and Aja doesn't pull it down on his turn, so he's now safe for 2 orbits. So now he decides what he does with his cards, his cities, which I think is the smarter move for sure. Now I think now Aja is just gonna pull the rest of the game, I'd imagine. Unless he rolls like a combination of cards that allow him to road settle,
I'm gonna put it back on the
like
floor.
easier or fluently. I think he just continues to pop
4 R.
because he's protecting army and also popping.
I
We're
have
gonna
to.
put in 4 R. 4 R.
Yeah.
may or may not be out there. I think 2
Oh,
are in the deck.
God. Okay,
Buckle
believe it.
probably has 2, and then Kelly has 1.
This is
with
Premier League
a mystery
semifinal.
one, which
Really?
could also be a VP. That's it.
The guy has 9 points and you put in 4.
And you're right.
Does
Yeah,
nothing to him.
Unlikely that Aja can road settle onto the 12 or spot, which is the last
Ah, he can
settlement spot.
settle. He can
It's more likely,
roll
like you
9
said,
and 10 and settle.
Top development
Yeah,
cards,
but
protects his army,
But I heard you.
and hopefully he still has army and gets a
Shanks,
VP and
Shanks
wins the
over
game.
Buckle,
Yeah.
'cause Shanks is at
I've also
7
seen him
points.
play like sometimes just like very conservatively, where he just says,
And
"I'm
honestly,
not even
Kelly's
gonna
sitting
like
out
where
of it.
everybody's
It's-
popping."
It's easy.
towards
It's
the
easier
end.
I don't
for
think it's
Where
me.
he
Kelly's
says,
got
"I'm just gonna save
It's
for a
easier
city."
for Aja
Basically,
to
like I'm
pop
just gonna
for a VP
hold,
than it is for
and
him
he holds and he wins
to
the game by building
road,
his 10th
road,
point
so.
by saving for a city. So we'll see what
That's
happens.
what I
Like if he high rolls wheat and he has enough to be a
I
card
don't get
or 2
anything.
off of a city, he might just
Mhm.
save for an orbit and bank on Shanks not, sneaking road
You might
in
come
that
cheap.
in that window or Buckle getting 2 points
Shanks.
in that span of time,
What
which
are
he
you
would
doing?
need
Is this the
a
setup?
pop
Yeah,
and a
what
settle
are you
most
doing?
likely.
7?
Mhm.
So I think that's
Yeah.
what Aja does.
Do you have anything other
But
than
road
weed?
definitely
Or
needs to
is
be
it so much?
protected, and I don't think Shanks
Aja,
needs to.
Aja. It's going to 9 points also.
I'll do it for 2.
I don't think Shanks needs to
I don't know.
help Buckle at all with
It's going
road
to 9
anymore,
points,
because
and no
now
one
that's
can
how
touch
Shanks
those guys.
wins. Shanks wins with taking taking
I'm
road.
not doing
What am I
sorry.
supposed
with his
to do about
protection.
that? I cannot do anything.
It's
Hey,
too insane.
Kelly's. Oh, Kelly. Okay. Does this help you pop? Kelly?
Yeah.
No.
I'll do it too. I'll do
So it looks
too.
like Kelly on his previous turn just played a knight and he bought a development card. So if that's a knight,
What?
You're
we
giving
might
me
have
9
Kelly
points?
taking back
Just
army
take the
if
setup
Aja
for
doesn't
me,
win here.
okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you are ridiculous, Kelly. You are ridiculous.
Then he's
You have a terrible board awareness. You have a terrible board awareness.
Yes, that's how I
You,
got
you
it.
shouldn't be on Premier League. to be
That's
honest.
yeah.
Whoa,
Wow.
that is a big insult.
Good, you lower my threat level for next season. Thank you.
Anyone's
Yeah.
So, I'm never a fan of personal insults ever. I think that's uncalled for. So, like, not very cool by Shanks. And honestly, like, if actions follow from this game in like retaliation of that, let's say from Kelly,
I'll take,
I
I'll
I'd love
think
take
to
Rowan.
king make you. I'd love to
like
king make
that
you.
kind of explains it.
I'm not that kind of
Yeah.
person.
You know what I mean?
I'm not
Like,
that kind of person.
because
What
it
are the
it-
chances?
it weirdly got
I have
personal
some
here,
other-
and I think we're gonna see some kind of like
I help
weird
you.
like micro.
I mean, if you give me something
between the
for
two
maybe,
of them.
but
Yeah, and we do not condone that. There's no place for
do I have a
that.
break? Do I have
Yeah,
a break?
no.
It's
I
okay.
can give you future break
No, it's okay.
or future week.
So in the chat here, we have Boop saying I'm very quiet. Real Crate says I'm also quiet, but Rowan saying that it is probably a good game to Shanks if he doesn't 7 out. And I haven't been tracking the dice that closely, but does Shanks have a lot of brick in his hand?
Settle spot. I have the settle spot on the 6 too.
Shanks
You can
or
take road
does
if you go for the
Take
8.
seven.
Kelly
spot.
rolled an 8, so Shanks has 3.
You want
brick,
both to take road.
at least that I see in his
Yeah,
hand.
but I can give you the
So
win.
he's taking
I
road.
can give you.
It's
If I'm
not
trading
bad. Settling.
with road, then I'll
Hey,
do.
there's
my
like
turn.
what 1 VP in the deck, so it's like 1 in 5, 1 in 15.
No. I'm not doing it.
So I was just doing the classic.
And you're not getting any more weeks if you don't do it.
No, it's okay.
I was just doing
To
the
give me
classic.
more than that. What's
I'll
your
give
hand
you
right
more
now?
cards
What's
if
your
you
hand
give
now?
me like an opportunity
it's
to dev,
panic,
but like
oh,
I'll give you
it's
like a lot of
panic.
cards or something. Because he wants to like roll the dice on a VP because he knows Shanks is gonna win this turn.
So I wonder if he buys the development card here.
I don't think he can.
Based,
What am I doing?
I think he would for
Just
sure.
like-
I don't think he can.
yeah.
I mean, back to Wingspan
How do I?
Oh.
It's gonna take a miracle.
or Shanks.
Yeah.
Shanks roll taking road now.
Shanks did say he would never
I
take
can't
road.
I can't take road.
Oh.
You can.
I'm sure he did the math, and then he was
I
like,
can't.
I can't take road. Like, I don't think it's wise for him to take road if he can't win this turn. You know, if he takes road,
Yeah.
the board does everything that they can to plow him, feed Buckle, you know, like kind of take him down from his pedestal a little bit. So,
If you rolled 9, you could.
yeah. So Shanks just opts to continue to build to 10. Dangerous turn. I think the board
I
got
think we're
super
up to
lucky that Shanks didn't roll the amount of cards to road, settle. Road, settle. Yeah. Or I think
Yeah, for
one
sure.
more road. I think he needed 4 roads and another settle, so that is what, like 12 cards? He had 15?
Yeah, I think he had 15 cards at the beginning of his turn, so
Very-
could have been a massive turn.
Yeah, very possible. Like every card
He has
or
two
every
breaks,
tile that he
1
needs
wood
to
probably,
do that action is unblocked, you know, with the 4.
and
But
Mhm.
yeah, so
Wow.
Shanks at 9
Yeah.
points. Very close game.
enough to pull.
At least between Shanks and Aja. Kelly will get to 7 points, I'm sure, if he has 2 VPs.
Yeah, or he takes army on this turn, which would definitely decrease Aja's threat level to win the game, and then they can focus on either Shanks or Buckle, whoever's perceived to be more dangerous in Kelly's eyes. So I wonder if Kelly has a knight.
That would be insane. Like the slow play, I think, at this point. Because I don't think
Yeah.
the knight was advertised.
Well, Kelly just bought a knight last turn, so
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
this
I'll
would be
trade
the
my
fresh
whole
knight.
hand if
You're
you-
right.
Maybe.
You're right. Like if he decides to. You're right.
You're trimming the whole hand.
Yeah.
Or what?
Because I don't think him holding here and holding that knight, I don't think it makes too much sense since the sun
The mono-
Aja could
Why would
potentially
you trade
win.
Your whole hand, not mono.
So you probably want to play that knight.
Because
if you
it has
have
the
it.
same
Then
effect.
it gets all your cards and stuff.
Yeah, and then you just
It has the same effect.
block Shanks, right?
I have
Because
only
he's at
one
9
vote.
points. Aja goes down.
It keeps his mono though. Like,
Yeah.
give him all
That
those
would be
cards and stuff
crazy,
mono.
honestly, if Buckle's on 9
First you have
points
to unend bargain.
Yeah.
and he's able to buy a development card and pull the VP.
And then you're gonna mono the
For the win.
Yeah, for the win. Yeah, like because there's at least 1 VP, right?
What?
Kelly could have 2. I'm almost positive Buckle has 2. And if Buckle's really like being like very careful with the mono.
Why?
I love that for him too.
Because he's
But
done mono game.
oh, Kelly's a mono.
I don't care at this point.
All right. So is that the city?
Are you mad at me still?
Yeah, you still.
I mean,
only
it
go
has to be.
block and.
It has to be,
you're
right?
Not gonna dirty
Or
mine.
actually,
I owe you the world.
no,
owe you
no.
the world.
Take army, right? You take army.
I find that rude.
I think you try. I think you buy one
Child,
card.
thesun.
You know, you don't spam, go crazy.
Still-
You be
still
patient
fast.
and you buy one card to see if you pull a knight. Because if you have a VP, you now go to what is that? 7 points with one knight there, compared to 6 with a city, and then you can focus on building your city by porting. So maybe he pulled the non-knight there, decides to pull another card. So it's very possible that he has 2 non-knights. I think he doesn't need to pull twice if he pulled a
You
knight.
poured all that wheat.
Yeah. No, I like that assessment. And it's unfortunate. I guess that mono is a little bit more defensive, but it's a little bit unfortunate for Kelly because
Oh.
he can't. He needs to get a city up, and yeah, we just see Buckle
Yeah,
port.
pull for the win. Yeah, Buckle has 2. Buckle definitely has 2 VPs. But I mean,
Yeah,
nobody's
like
talking
this
about
game.
Buckle either.
I don't like
think.
Catan
You know, like
anymore.
Shanks has been down talking his.
I'm retired.
His
One
trades,
pull
but
to rule them all.
oh,
yeah.
misses 2.
Oh, you got a knight?
That's so
Unlucky,
funny.
unlucky. I did not get a
Oh.
vein. That's what you need to know.
So now I wonder if Shanks will try pulling now. Now they have the sheep port.
Oh, yeah, he has to.
Or-
I don't have VP.
Oh. Road Builder.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
no,
have
no,
VP.
he doesn't
I
have
would
Road
won the
Builder.
game if I
I'm
got
sorry.
VP.
I
So
thought
this
he
is
had- I thought
actually
he had
very
a-
dangerous territory,
Anything
Poppy.
VP is useless.
Buckle didn't extend his road. If Kelly has a is the second road builder played yet? I'm not sure, but if he uses a road builder,
So
he could win here.
that is true, but I did hear him ask Aja if he has a knight, like very casually, like because I was like and then he's like did he pull a knight, like to see if he's gonna get any kind of info, because then Kelly can almost like
There's nothing I can do to win.
decide whether to play a knight or his road builder, like you said, if he pulled one to do that,
Yeah.
and take a
Oh,
double
wait.
play
And 8 cards.
You want it back then?
route.
You want it
But,
back then?
that definitely like
Sorry,
limits
I-
his
No, I mean
opportunity to
no.
do that here.
No, because
If Kelly
No.
for whatever reason has the cards to do so, he could also take road. If he has,
Yeah.
2 VPs, that's game. I don't know. He holds. Interesting. Volko rolls a 5. I think. I don't know what his other 2 cards are. If one's a weep, and maybe he can dev. I don't think so though.
You want to extend?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I wish we had some dev info on these players,
Me
but
neither.
it looks
What
like
is your
Buckle
card? What is your
probably
card?
has a knight in there somewhere.
He also didn't
He could
play a
have
card
mono,
though
maybe.
here.
Yeah,
Does he have the
Knight
other
and-
mono?
Obviously not.
He probably does.
So.
If he does, that's
Why
insane.
not?
Like I think he just
Play around
wins.
Aja
Maybe
mono.
he's doing the calculations right
I need to
now.
pour all wheat.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If I
Where-
mono
where's there's
what?
the
I'm
pause?
7 points.
Wait,
What do you want
wait.
from me?
Wait for his card. What card does he have?
Yeah, let's wait for it. Like Shake says.
If it's not knight and if it's not a third VP, then what it is? He could win this art.
This does nothing for me. Does it?
So why are you taking that kill? He can win with a mono.
Maybe he has a Yop too.
Yeah, next time.
You know,
You have
maybe he's
plenty.
thinking about like
No, he's
has a
not doing
Yop,
for
has
his
both
I guess.
Yops been played? No, only one Yop. So he could be like
I guess.
choosing to play
I want
a
to-
Yop to buy a dev card and just go for it.
Yeah, or maybe he could double pop here. If
Yeah.
He does have the ooh,
Oh, okay.
You take the VP away from Aja.
wow.
So maybe Bucko wasn't at 9 points before, and
I said,
maybe he
did
had
he
a
take
mono
the VP
prior. I
away
don't know.
from
Like,
Aja?
but I think he's pulling for VPs. I think he had 2 VPs and he was pulling, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know. I don't want to move it. Shanks win if I move it.
Surely this is the Shanks win now.
Yeah,
Right.
This has to be game. He doesn't
I
need
don't have
road.
one in
He
hand.
just road
but Kelly
settles.
may have.
Do you
Correct
have
me if I'm
R?
And
wrong.
wrote
I don't.
Competitors
I
in
have 0 art.
semifinals do not get a bonus for getting an extra point, like 11 points at the end of the
No.
game. Yeah, so there's no incentive for
You
Shanks to
do.
even like get cheap
Fine,
I have
and
to
take
wait.
road
That's too
away from
I have
you
to
know,
wait, but
Buckle for
for
just
what?
table
What
points.
can you give me?
Yeah, for sure. Win. That's all that matters.
There's still a mono actually in the deck.
I don't know who's more likely to win.
Okay, if you give me 2 bricks for 2 weeks, I may do it.
That gives you the win.
Yeah.
1 for 1 then.
Shank's trying to trade for the win.
I don't. What?
What are you doing with this? Popping?
Oh, yeah. I want to get
don't
more
like
to
you.
pop.
What?
Wake me up when this game's over.
So I think the only thing that Kelly and Buckler are hoping for is that
What,
Shanks
what are you
sevens
doing?
out
What are you doing with this?
his next turn, and he isn't able to road settle
No.
with
Obviously,
6 cards in hand
I don't have 3.
that he would be remaining with.
What are you doing, Aja?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess.
Why?
double pop.
Did say
maybe.
I'm trying to pop. What do you mean, why?
I think that's such bad. That's so bad.
Yeah, but you gave him.
I don't
Yeah.
think Aja has like a window to
I
win
gave
that,
you
this
break.
game,
GG.
honestly, like in this turn, or even a turn after, depending on like if he pulled a
No, I
mono,
don't
let's say,
get bottom of my break.
or he pulled. Okay, he pulled.
Yeah,
it,
I mean, you have.
maybe there's incentive.
He doesn't have.
I had a
threes, I
knight.
think.
I still think
Aja,
that's
what
so
are you
like
doing?
crazy that he traded Shanks there.
Right, I got my break back.
That's really crazy. Yeah.
8 wins.
Oh, he wins.
GG.
Sunday.
Yeah.
The trade didn't.
Aja, it's the trade.
No, the trade didn't do
Fuck
anything.
off.
Trade does nothing. That trade is so much better for him.
Think so.
Well, maybe if you stop buying death cards, as I said, and get the city, you couldn't have chance. GG, Shane.
GG.
GG.
Fuck. All right. GG guys. GG.
I could have won maybe next turn if I got mono vote take roll.
I don't want to hear it.
GG
Bruno,
guys.
king of PTT.
Is everyone able to stick around or?
Yeah, I'm able. I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, great game, guys. I know it was a little bit stressful at the end, but that was definitely a crazy one. I feel like the army situation and Kelly, I feel like you had a turn where you could have won there with like a.
I had the pull. I should have pulled from Shanks there, but he had 3 and 8 pull for brick. I needed cheaper weed to take raid.
Yeah, like it was crazy. It was a really good game. I feel like everyone kind of had a chance to win. Aja also pulled for the win. I know Buckle pulled for the win. Correct me if I'm wrong. Buckle, if you're there, which I think he is.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And then Shanks won. So a game where like everyone is able to win is always a strong one. I feel like that was a crazy game. But GG Shanks, like you played it very well. You know, like
GG,
you
thanks.
expanded ports. I think you
Yeah.
expanded in the priority that you needed to. I completely agree with the 4 plow, and I love how you just were very aggressive with the 910 too.
Mhm.
I did think. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I would not. The plow. You mean Buckle plow? I would not take that spot. I had an agreement with Buckle, so that's why I said there's no reason to.
Oh, he went
to
the
give
4
him
or
that,
I think.
that settlement. Oh, the 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
4 was
The 4
essential
or
for
on
me.
Aja, because that
Yeah.
would have definitely elevated Aja to a level that would have helped his game progress as well.
Yeah.
I
It was
thi-
really good plow. I
Yeah.
hate to admit it, but
I will say, just complete pain. Kelly all game like 70 now. I counted 4 or 5, but too many I would say compared to everyone else.
What did you say there? Sorry, you cut out for a second.
No, I was just saying like basically the 7 outs, like those are pretty painful.
Yeah, I definitely would have had a city down for sure. And then I'm not buying as many devs, obviously, but I only need the 1 city, pretty much. I didn't think realistically I could fight them on road. They just had such strong production after they traded the cities to each other. And I pulled good devs, but
Yeah.
you needed road to win. Maybe you should have tried.
I did think.
Especially,
Go ahead, Asha. Sorry.
yeah, especially after getting the road builder, I think you could go for the road. For the city.
I
For the city.
I had a puck for road. It was 3 and 8 of not pulling. Actually, I had better odds of not pulling, I think. I don't know what buckle I had at the time. I'd have to go back and see. But I just needed to pull a sheep or a wheat
Yep.
And Shanks just rolled 3 bricks, and my odds of pucking versus pucking from Buckle. That's why I hit Buckle in that spot.
Mhm.
And I would have had enough for good. So
It was close. Also, nice job of taking karma from me back. Like,
I had to buy devs. I mean, any ore that was going to be stuck in my hand, or even if I ported for wheat, was going to be plucked at that
I
point.
don't think like
They
change that ore all the time after that. And
You're doing trades with him, so I'm still more inclined to get blocked because you guys are still doing non-blocks and non-steals.
well, yeah.
And then I become the victim at the spot because there's so many spots to block.
I don't know why you robbed me at the end.
So I was plugging for something I needed.
What did you mean? I don't think we needed anything.
I did.
Like,
I did. I know what everybody had.
okay.
So I also really like the placements. When Chapha and I looked at the board, I think we agreed that 5-8-10 was a great spot. For Bucko, I think the best spot as well on the board, with the 4 being such an important, resource tile for the Orway cheap game. So it was almost imperative that he got into brick to play any kind of balanced game in this board. So that was a
Wait,
great.
do you agree with my pick? Like 9-5-10 first?
I thought it was interesting, and I think your out is always 6-3-11, so you're okay either way. Your road is definitely tricky, because I think I would play more on the conservative side, but I know you're like a bit of an aggressive player sometimes in terms of like how you place, but you're also in the room with Kelly, so it was very interesting seeing Kelly go for that plow.
Yeah, I was hoping he doesn't not do that.
That he does not.
Yeah, I was hoping he doesn't do that.
I just don't think. Go ahead.
I was thinking that I might, if I get like 9-6-2, 9-6-12, sorry, then I would be super happy. Or the other option was if I can somehow get a trade towards the 8-10, which also did not work. So I was going for the 6-3-11 and then playing or game.
Yeah.
Which kind of worked. Like I had the best production by far. But I don't know. I pulled all knights from my death cards. Last death card I pulled was mono. So that might have changed things. Maybe I could still have a chance somehow with good rolls.
Yeah.
But after losing army for the second time, I don't think I was able to win. I got army, and then I could choose to buy more death cards or just get the city to 9 points.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have buy 2 death cards. Maybe I could buy only 1.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that.
I was interested.
But I decided to like get the city, and I was pretty sure that I can pull out at least once for win, and I figured like I should take those shots.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I did not feel comfortable extending the game further.
No, yeah, definitely. I was talking to Chapha, like we were interested in seeing what you were gonna do, because at that point you had army by the 2 orbits, I think, on Kelly, at least, if he didn't have a knight, which we knew he didn't. So yeah, we figured we didn't know whether or not you would hold. So when you didn't buy a dev, that's what we figured you'd do. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like you played a very well game. The only like sore spot was getting plowed by Shanks, so you miss out on like a wood and a brick. But otherwise, you definitely did your best to trade. Both through the platform and verbally. I'm sure you offered the most amount of trades here. Can we look that up?
Yeah, I do all the time.
Oh.
I did not get many trades early on. That hurt me as well.
Yeah. But it was interesting because when Kelly placed out on the 6-9-12, we were curious where he was gonna point his road, and I don't know, like I think there's merit. I do like the 11-12. The 12 is such a important role once it hits even once or twice in the game, and the 11 is nice to diversify the wheat. But the wheat port is also really good, I think, with the 5-8-4 personally. And Chapha said this first actually, because it doubles the wood, and allows a road connect around the brick. Did you ever consider that, Kelly?
No, I wanted the ore for the off chance because I knew it was gonna be tough to city either way on this type of board.
Which also
there's really not much
sense.
on this board.
Yeah,
so
it makes total sense.
I didn't want the road play. I kind of saw the road play being Buckle. And at that point, he's still always stuck needing to city, even with the wood and the wheat, because the 5's like negatively correlated. He may buy devs and get lucky, but I think at that point, I'm still always looking at Shanks with more space. He's more flexible, especially if he's got the brick port. I would have tried to feed that to Buckle as well, but the trades didn't really work out that well.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Shay,
think.
go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. No, I'm just looking at something here. There was a moment I said I was going to build 10 this game, and I said I would for sure that I want to go for it. And I only won this game because it was like about 90 turns, 1 hour 40 minutes. Because build to 10 in a hard table like this is, you need time, you need the game to go on, so you win. So yeah, I just want to point that out because it's not easy to build to 10.
I should have blocked the 6, no? If I blocked the 6, you would not win.
Maybe, but 9 was also winning row.
Yeah, but the 10 wasn't.
Or
Like a bad block
yeah, the 10
on my
wasn't.
part.
The 10 wasn't.
So I should have blocked you.
Yeah.
But then Kelly would win, you know? Kelly has the win in hand. Yeah.
Yeah, I think off of placements, like we briefly talked about everyone, but Shanks was actually like favored by a lot of like the viewers of the stream just off of placements. So just off of like flexibility, and you were able to do both, take army or road. I'm not saying you were going for it in this game, but you were just able to be flexible, which is very complementary to a build to 10 situation. Yeah. So it was a good game. I will say, I'm sure like everyone gets heated in the moment, but like I'm sure like we all like know and appreciate each other's time, and everyone is deserving of being here. I know there is some like conflict during the game, but I hope everyone like had fun and continues to like be respectful moving forward.
Always will be.
Not me. I hate all these motherfuckers. They're all on my shit list. They're all on my shit list next season. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well.
Who dropped the most?
Yeah. So Shanks, you are moving on to the final table, which, correct me if I'm wrong, will be with Rowan, Falcao, as well as Donnie. That's a very,
Shanks,
very
beat
strong
the shit
table.
out of them.
I'm sorry?
For our behalf.
I'll try to.
Yeah, that's a very, very strong table. I feel like the three of you guys, the rest of you losers, I'm so sorry. The people who didn't win this game are almost hoping that Shanks wins so they can say they lost to the champion. I don't know.
Nope, I'm not.
Shanks,
I'll be pulling for the other.
Do you have a title in the Premier League?
Me, I don't.
So yeah,
this is my second Premier League. I was semi-finalist last one, so finals this one.
So there you go.
Let's hope for.
Yeah, you have accolades many accolades in other leagues, so maybe this is your time for this one. But great game, guys. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to cover. Yeah.
Thanks for streaming. See you.
Yeah. Thanks for streaming.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, can you send me the link for bot? I'd like to check that.
Yeah, I'm gonna download it and send it to you. I'll work on that, Aja.
Is it on stream or do you have the?
I have it on stream, but I also am recording it, so I can have the actual file if you want.
Yeah, okay. I'll check it on stream, I think.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, Chapha, I think you can still hear me.
Yeah.
Cool. So I deafened up, meaning I'm off that table. But yeah, that was a great game. I think it was very well played by the table. There is a lot of, table talk, both good, some bad. That's the reality of some games, which nobody normally condones. But still a competitive one. Despite that, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was overall a pretty good showing of a strong table for very respectable and strong players in their own right. I think we were blessed to have a little bit of that game go long, just to see the different dynamics of, with the army battle, a little bit with the longest road battle, who has the victory points. And I think everyone in their own right had a chance to win the game, that little window to win the game. So, very good game.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, bro, for tuning in. Not just tuning in, but being here with me and sharing this space. Sorry, it's just what I'm used to saying. But actually, like, I'm very blessed. Like you, I'm just very excited for this opportunity to like collab with you. So like now I'm more comfortable with like the platform, I guess, or like the way to do it, which is very simple. I'm just kind of like lazy sometimes, honestly. But
hey, all good.
but I'm gonna like look to do this more often, actually. So if you're a player out there and you want to like, I don't know, share the screen with me, definitely let me know and we can figure this out. Or if you want to return, Chapha, that would also be amazing. But thank you so much for having me. So
yeah, no, we appreciate you, Poppy, for streaming this. Really, really glad you said yes yesterday when I asked you. So I would love to stream and commentate with you again, man. Thanks.
Cool, bro. Well, I'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna end the stream, but we'll see you next time. Peace, guys.
Yeah. See you guys.